Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell says putting environmental, social, and governance standards above returns amounts to what he calls a radical new policy.
That would help liberals use Americans' very own retirement savings as financial muscle for political causes they may not even support.
Republican bills in both the House and Senate would demand fund managers fulfill their fiduciary responsibility to focus only on maximum returns for investors. Bob Agnew, Capitol Hill.
They were shot while trying to execute a search warrant at a home last night. 3 Kansas City, Missouri police officers wounded by gunfire. They are in the hospital this morning. Officials say they are expected to make a complete recovery. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday. Yep, middle of the week, everybody. More fun wind, all that. A couple days ago.
You couldn't even get 3 sentences in. It was like you were like tasting it. You were just like, oh, I can't wait.
I wish.
It's delicious. It's delicious, the pessimism. Oh, it's so tasty. Oh, I gotta get me some right off the bat. Just give me a little bit, man. It's nice right now.
It is right now.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck here. And when I have the ability.
Most people who drive right now have the sun like right in their face. There's clouds out, so there's no sun in the face.
True. The sun will come out today. That's what
eventually.
They say.
Bet your bottom dollar.
It will. Yeah. And it's going to be warm. 75 today.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about that.
You know what? I like it. That's a step up. Because you wanted to. I could feel it. You were like, the tasty dish is right over there. You wanted to reach over and grab you some, but you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Sunny and 75. That's all I have to say about that.
There you go. Well, happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the weather's doing, I hope you have a good day. You're having a good day right now.
It's funny. I work in morning radio, so I sort of like sit in a box and hide from the morning routine most of the time. But then when like I'm forced to be thrust into the morning routine, I forget. Being a parent is hectic in the morning.
Yeah.
It's a lot, dude.
Especially when you when the lunches aren't made and everything else, and you got to scramble and get everything done. So. So I didn't have lunch ready for Rhiannon, so I was like, oh, I'll go get her a Lunchable. Great. So I run to the store. On the way back from the store to here, I realized that, Rhiannon has a hole in her jeans. We have to go home and change her pants. Dang it. I rush in here just as the music starts, all like prima donna style. We'll do it live. Just gets it, sits down. So, tonight you're at work. You can calm down and chill out.
No. We're not even close to done yet. I have to go throw a couple voice tracks in, run my daughter to work, to school, take my son over to his where his coat and backpack is, get that, take him to school. Yeah, all this while running a morning show. So.
Well.
And co-hosting a second morning show.
Well, you do what you got to do.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying here.
And hey, maybe one of your stops will have some coffee or
I haven't thought about coffee. That'd be nice.
Something to
Yeah.
Keep you motoring.
There you go.
You know, anybody listening on Sean's path after this can give him a beverage.
Like one of those water stops in a marathon. Just splash it on my face and keep going.
Right, just keep going through.
Oh my God, that was so hot.
Anybody else path, just help a brother out here.
Sean, a latte.
I think it'd be good.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Oh man! Well, happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's doing well. It will be windy today. We'll get you up to date on all the weather and all that here in just a little bit.
It was windy last evening too. It was like a little tease for today almost.
And it was supposed to be less windy.
Yeah.
And then it kind of said, we did issue a red flag warning.
We changed our minds.
Might as well go ahead and make it a little windy. Oh, by the way, speaking of those warnings, I got like a whole laundry list of them here. Today's the 2nd, right?
Yeah. No, 1st.
Today's the 1st. So only today is the red flag warning. From 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. And then tomorrow we got a fire weather watch and a high wind watch beginning at like 8, 9 in the morning tomorrow, which those will probably upgraded to red flags. So. But yeah, I remember when I opened up the weather this morning and they have like when you go to the National Weather Service, they give you like the forecast and right at the top they have little pictures to tell you what the weather is, like a little cloudy or a little sunny guy or a little rainy thing or whatever. But right above that, if there's ever any warnings, watches, that's where they put them. And usually it's just 1, maybe 2. And then today it was just like, click for details, and then this drop box drops down. And it's like, fire weather watch, fire weather watch. It's like, okay.
Get ready for the storm.
All of that means wind is windy, and it will be blowing, making dust and things. Be careful.
Indeed.
Yes. So.
Brace oneself.
What's that?
I said brace yourself.
Brace yourself.
Indeed.
Yes. Let me give you, oh man. I know people don't follow or care about my football team or any of that stuff, but I always talk about it here.
Right.
But
I have a microphone and you don't.
Well, and I think there's enough NFL fans that would appreciate this because this is a doozy.
What's going on?
Washington? So, Dan Snyder, I'm not selling the team, all this other stuff. Well, a whole bunch of nonsense came out yesterday, and this is kind of what it's starting to put the pieces together on, no wonder this might be bigger than Washington. This might get Goodell in trouble.
Really?
Oh, yes.
This goes up to the top.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, there's been the congressional hearings on sexual harassment and things, that was going on at Washington, and then, they're calling people. Well, Congress is also investigating on apparently a $50 million loan that the NFL gave to the Commanders, and then Dan Snyder used said $50 million loan to do shenanigans like pay himself millions of dollars to paint the Redskins logo on the side of his jet.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Things like that are going on, and Congress saying, wait a minute.
Company, I'm assuming.
Yes, like the Commander or Redskins at the time brand or company paid Dan Snyder, the man, millions of dollars so he could paint a Redskins logo on his personal jet.
I swear to God, I'm going to pistol whip the next man that says shenanigans.
I'm a shenanigans guy. I mean, not like I do them. I like to say that.
We'll stick time.
But, I mean, and apparently, so Goodell's got answers like, hey, what's going on here? Like, is there some
shenanigans?
Now, that being said, these are all millionaires/billionaires. No one's probably going to jail. Right. None of that because that would
they never pay the price.
But the stuff we're talking here, if you or I did it, we'd be spending time in the pen.
Sure. 100%.
That's where I'm just like,
I wish I had the money to own a shell company. I feel like that's where the real money is, in shell companies, If you can really put all your money in shell companies.
Well, it depends on how big the shell is.
That's right. It's
like a conch shell. Like those little ones on the beach.
It'll be interesting to see how this all pans out.
Hey, you know what? Nothing. The way the NFL operates, it may all get swept under a rug and go, well, nothing to see here. Hey, we got an 18th game this season.
I have to go be a father.
They're smoke and mirrors. All right, well, you go do that. It is 7:13. Let me give you the rundown. Although I may have messed up on on our thing here. But I do have Kevin Maver scheduled to join us here, but then I had him in the 9. I don't know, but I may have messed up there. So if Kevin doesn't go, we're gonna replay another interview. Andrew Moore at the Chamber will join us in the 8 o'clock hour, and then we do have Crystal Noble scheduled in the 9, but we may do a Kevin Crystal combo or something there. So we'll see, because I had Kevin in the 9, but I was like, he's never in the 9, and it was pushed a week, so I may have messed up my scheduling. It happens when you think too much. But anyway, we'll see if Kevin makes it here this hour. But Andrew Moore will definitely be with us next hour from the Chamber, and we'll try to work Crystal Noble and everything, too. We may have to reschedule. I don't know. We'll figure that one out. But before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Another strong storm system dropping into the Great Basin and eventually moving into the Four Corners. That'll bring us gusty wind today. We'll have a few early clouds, but sunny this afternoon. Wind kicking up to 40 miles an hour and pretty mild. Our high today in the low 70s. Breezy upper 30s and a few clouds for the overnight hours, and then a mix of sunshine and clouds. Maybe a shower on Thursday, mid 50s and very windy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 46 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 31%. Winds currently out of the north at 8 miles per hour. As I mentioned, we do have a red flag warning that will kick in officially at 10 a.m. this morning, remain in effect through 7 p.m. this evening. Today, expect mostly cloudy skies this morning, gradually clearing. Expect a high of 75. That's all the good news. The rest, not so much. Windy today. Winds will be 5 to 10 this morning, but out of the southwest, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 later today. Tonight, mostly clear. Expect an overnight low of 39 degrees, south winds 15 to 20. Thursday, they're saying a 20% chance of showers for the afternoon, mostly sunny. Cooler tomorrow, high of only 54, so we're dropping about 20 degrees between today and tomorrow. Winds will be up out of the south, 15 to 20. Increasing 25 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, expect some areas of blowing dust before midnight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 30. They use the term blustery with a northwest wind 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Those winds will drop down 15 to 20 after midnight. Friday, sunny, high of 67 expected, west winds at around 15. For your Saturday, sunny and 66, and then Sunday, warming right back up, mostly sunny, 77 for a high on Sunday. So, but a little roller coastery, but the winds will be consistent at least for a couple days. But yeah, enjoy the 75 today. We'll be down in the 50s tomorrow, but back up in the upper 70s by Sunday. All right, it is 17 minutes after 7 o'clock. I'm going to take a 2-minute commercial break. I have not seen Kevin yet. Let me go ahead and I'll look through and see if I've got an interview we can play if we don't hear from Kevin, or we may see him not. Like I said, I may have screwed up my schedule. But let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back on the other side.
Your destination for health is closer than you think. You don't have to drive hours for personalized care. You can get high-quality health care right here close to home at Artesia General Hospital. From hip, knee, and shoulder replacements to sports injuries, general surgery, pain management, and wound care, our providers will help you get back to doing the things you love right here in Southeast New Mexico. Artesia General Hospital is here for you when you need us. To learn more about some of our key service lines, visit artesiageneral.com/closer.
Nutrien Ag Solutions of Artesia is looking for a CDL driver to join their team. A CDL Class A with hazmat endorsement is preferred, but will accept applicants with a CDL Class B. Applicants without hazmat endorsement, please be willing to obtain one. Nutrien Ag Solutions is a respected and well-established company who values their employees and offers a generous benefits package, competitive pay, and will train the right candidate. To apply, stop in person, Nutrien Ag Solutions, 103 East Mill Road in Artesia, or visit online at nutrien.com. And for more information, call Andrea at Nutrien Ag Solutions, 575-748-3510. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
When it comes to your business, Big O Tires knows how important it is to keep your commercial vehicles moving. Why not take your fleet vehicles to the team you trust? Big O Tires has a wide tire selection, offers quality automotive services, and provides priority appointments. With over 60 years experience, our technicians will get your operation back in action quickly. Roll into Big O Tires, your one-stop shop for all your commercial vehicle needs.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 15 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Friends of Bitter Lake, we have President now, since we're in March 1st officially, March 26th. And good morning. It is 15 minutes all high school juniors and seniors are invited to participate. It is back and even better. They've been doing this, partnering with the New Mexico Military Institute for years, doing this program, and it's a great event. It's actually, they've added a day to it for this year. It's all held on the campus of the New Mexico Military Institute, and it's an opportunity for these high school seniors and juniors to develop their potential to be effective leaders, skills, life skills, when it comes to being leaders, that will give them tools they can use no matter what path they choose, whether they want to, go on to college, go on to, say, the military, go on to start their own business, whatever it is, the direction they go to after high school, this will help them a step up. Now, they will be awarding over $5,000 in scholarships to high school seniors and juniors. If you're a junior and you came last year, you're invited to come back. If you won a scholarship last year, you're allowed to come back and win another one too. It's all good. So please get your applications in. They are due by March 3rd. So you've got the end of this week to get your applications turned in. You can get your applications seeing any high school guidance counselor at all the local high schools here, but you can also reach out to Desi Aguilar. You can text 575-420-8732. You can also you can even shoot an email to historydirector@outlook.com. Amy Mivete, she's involved with Leadership Roswell alumni as well. She can make sure you get an application, but get those back and shoot an email too. You can shoot an email to roswellteenleadership@gmail.com. They'll send you an application. You can email it right back to that same email address or anything. But again, that email is roswellteenleadership@gmail.com. All right, it is 7:22. Let's do this. We had the folks from Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge join us last week. Had a little conversation with them, talking about some of the stuff going on out there. Since Kevin will probably be in the 9 o'clock hour, let's go ahead and play that now, since I think I screwed up my thing. But anyway, we'll figure it out. So let's do this. It's Don Weld and Meredith Hildreth. They're Friends of Bitter Lake. Meredith is the president. Don, one of the members there, and they're talking just about Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, some events coming up, and also talk a little bit about becoming a friend. So here is that interview. Enjoy. And good morning. It is 15 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Friends of Bitter Lake, we have President Meredith Hildreth, and then Don Weld back with us as well. Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing today?
We are wonderful.
Real good. Doing good. And, of course, for folks that are not familiar, of course, Don and the Friends of Bitter Lake, we pop in once a month. And the Friends of Bitter Lake, they are the volunteer organization that keeps the events and things, and it keeps the public going and the public eye of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. And doing that, it's made up of volunteers that do conservation projects out there. And, of course, you might have heard of things like the Dragonfly Festival. That's kind of the Friends of Bitter Lakes.
That's our thing.
That's our thing. Yeah, exactly. So, first off, good morning. How is life out at the refuge this morning? Things going well? The animals are in the midst of doing their transferring, I guess in this time of year, they're heading back north, I'm guessing.
I can tell you that yesterday I got blown away.
So did the birds, I bet.
Yes. Yeah. I was out there working. We're having some issues with the water system on the butterfly trail.
Okay.
And so one of the maintenance people out there and myself are trying to track that down. We think we have a handle on it. So,
okay.
But we've got to have that water running because we've got a cleanup of the butterfly trail coming up.
Okay.
Meredith, you can tell them about that.
Yeah, if you well, first off, if you've never walked and checked out the butterfly trail, you're invited to come out
anytime.
Come out today or during the weekend and do it. But like you said, when you do come out there, it's not you're just a visitor. Remember that when you walk through there. But part of the some of the things that Friends of Bitter Lake do is these projects and things, and we got one coming up here with some maintenance on the butterfly trail here.
On April 22nd, that's Earth Day.
Okay.
That's our project. We're
planned by coincidence? No, it was planned that way.
April 22nd, 2023, Earth Day. Yes, we're gonna clean up the butterfly trail and do some planting.
Okay. So and obviously, for folks that aren't familiar, it is the wildlife refuge. It's not Bottomless Lakes. Bottomless Lakes is your state park to go and picnic and swim and do all that. Mm-hmm. Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is there to study, conserve, and follow the habitats, natural plant life, animal life, and things that are indigenous and native to this part of the country. And so when you talk about going to do the butterfly trail and planting some, it's not just rolling in there and grabbing some flowers from Home Depot and coming back and planting them out. They're studying on what plants that the butterflies, what are indigenous to this area, things that are supposed to be here versus things that got brought here through various other ways and things like that. But a lot of that work you're doing, so when you guys go out there, it's not only just clean up trails, making sure there's not trash and things, but making sure plant life and everything is what's supposed to be there.
Often we plant milkweed.
Okay.
For the monarch butterflies, and it increases all the butterfly population. So we've seen that over the few years we've been planting the milkweed on the trail and on the refuge.
Gotcha. So and I know Don and I have talked on months past on here about the monarch butterfly and about their amazing how it's like generational migratory, where this generation of butterflies is going to go from kind of here to here, and while the next generation will pick up the trail as they go through. The monarchs that come here, are they ones that they're really migratory, or some that are here for the majority of the year? Are they just here for a certain small window and then they're off to the next stopping point?
It kind of happens both ways.
Okay.
At the Dragonfly Festival, we release. I'll get that word out yet. We'll release a number of
to
monarchs
increase the monarch
to
population.
increase the population around.
Yeah.
Some of them will do their thing here, lay their eggs, and pass away.
Gotcha.
That next generation will then have to find its way, and it will move on.
So some that are released here, they're kind of saying, "No, I kind of like it here. I'm gonna establish roots here for the next generation to continue the migration."
That's why we put out the milkweed. Because it's not so much that they eat the milkweed. The milkweed is where they put their eggs.
So it's home for them. That's where they can build their cocoons and things, and pupate, I believe, and all the terms.
All the butterfly things they do. Butterfly things.
The larva that comes out will eat the milkweed, but the butterflies themselves, they use that to put their eggs on.
And then obviously it's like, hey, when the larvae is ready, here's lunch.
Have something to eat, now go find another plant.
Gotcha. Yeah. Interesting. But if you'd like to come out and help with the planting and cleaning up and stuff, do they need to pre-register? Just come on out and join you on Earth Day here.
That's a good question. I know Steve would like to know how many people are coming out.
Just so you can have a handle on.
Right. We usually give something, maybe a sandwich or something.
Okay.
For those.
So
who
maybe
participate.
call the refuge, call the store, or call the refuge there
Yeah,
and say,
call the refuge at
and
the
say,
nature
hey,
store.
I'd like to get on list, and Steve or one of the volunteers there will get you get your questions answered.
Any groups who would like to volunteer doing cleanup projects or any kinds of projects, call Steve Alvarez at Bitter Lake National Wildlife Refuge.
Yeah. And, of course, you'll find all that. If you go to friendsofbitterlake.org, which is the Friends website, you'll find all the contact information there, too. Of course, you can Google search Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, and the website will come up and all the contact information there. But, by the way, while you're there, if you kind of want to learn about all the cool wonders and things that Bitter Lake, houses, but, what's available to you, the public, to see, that website's a good resource to kind of, if you want to plan a day trip out to the Bitter Lake, do some hiking or just some nature walks or bird viewing or whatever.
Absolutely.
You can do that. You can kind of get all the information there too, and find out what times the gate closed so you don't actually accidentally get locked in. Things like that.
Yeah.
In the nature store.
And of course, visit the nature store.
The nature store is how the Friends generate revenue to assist the refuge in its mission of
That's your big
conservation.
fundraise, that store.
And we have unique gifts, beautiful T-shirts. I got a couple for my birthday.
Nice.
So they are wonderful gifts and lots of jewelry and these beautiful pins.
Oh, nice.
That I'm
Collector's
going
pins?
to give to you,
thank
Mike.
you. I love pins. Oh, cool. It's got the dragonfly. Is this a Bitter Lake one, or is this one of the dragonfly?
That's Bitter Lake.
Okay, cool. That is awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You can get this collector's keepsake. Plus,
that's right.
I know you guys also have learning materials. So if you're looking for books and
lots of books,
projects for, like, say, to work with your kids, like a STEM project,
there you go,
or those kinds of activities, you'll find a lot of that at the Bitter Lake store there as well too. So you can get donned up with your hats and T-shirts and everything. But if you're looking for some great enrichment projects for your family and stuff, you'll find a lot of that kind of stuff there too. And then all of that money goes back to things like the butterfly trail and then the bird stand, the bird blind, and the various other projects that are always going on out at Bitter Lake.
One interesting thing the refuge has done this past year is replace at least 7 miles of fencing with antelope-friendly fencing. Because antelopes don't jump over fences. They climb under them.
Okay. I was thinking to go through them, but I didn't know.
And
they might do that too.
A little bit of that too.
So we've seen pronghorn on the refuge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are these fences designed to let them go under?
Yes,
It's kind of more
climb,
under-friendly kind of thing?
They crawl under the fence.
Interesting. Okay, so it's like it's kind of like the opposite of Roach Motel, where they can get in but they can't get out, but this will let those in, but not other things that shouldn't be coming in.
Right.
So very cool. And again, that's kind of the battle that the refuge is, since the dawn of the refuge, is keeping keeping things that are native here because that's the biggest battle I think the conservationists and the volunteers and everybody have is plant life that isn't really native to this area, that does happen to hardily grow here, but it's so hardy that it crowds out the things that should be here. So so a lot of the conservation projects are that battle is keeping the foreign stuff away and letting the indigenous stuff
Such
flourish.
as the salt cedar.
Yes.
Salt cedar.
That's a 4-letter word over at the Bitter Lake, salt cedar.
You got it. Yeah. You got it.
Phragmites.
Yeah, Phragmites.
Another 4-letter word.
Yeah. And tumbleweeds.
Yes.
Oh, terrible.
Well, no one likes tumbleweeds.
That's part of what we want to get off the trail.
Sure.
Is that kind of stuff.
And by the way, if you've never been out to Bitter Lake, please. And I know there's so many people that probably lived in Roswell in this area a good hunk of their life and never made a trip out to Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. It literally is. And you always hear the term oasis in the desert. It's literally that. Literally, it is that oasis in the desert. You think you know Roswell? Go out to Bitter Lake. It's a different world out there. And
we do have a beautiful visitor center. And
absolutely.
Where the nature store is.
Yeah.
And an observation deck.
Yeah.
And it's really great. It's a great learning place.
Yes,
so.
it's great to even
and
if you
a place just to relax.
get away from the hustle and bustle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, got out there
So
and then
important.
come see it. Another thing I want to remind folks is if Friends of Bitter Lake always looking for more volunteers. If you'd love to, be involved with not only getting your hands in the dirt and doing that fun stuff, but serving, planning, volunteering to work out at the Bitter Lake store there.
Mm-hmm.
Any of these kinds of resources, if you'd like to volunteer time for that, Friends of Bitter Lake would love to have you come on down and
talk to Steve Alvarez.
Okay,
he's the volunteer coordinator.
I always joke he's like he's your park ranger out there. He's the guy.
More or less. Yep.
He's the one chasing Yogi around. I'm just.
Yeah. we got a few yogis out there. I'll tell you.
We need more boo boos and less yogis.
Yep.
One of our board members is going to present information about butterflies and gardening.
Okay.
at the refuge, April 1st.
Okay.
I believe Vicki Burris is going to present.
Okay.
And then I think she's going to give a talk at the library as well, but
Okay.
I don't have the date on that.
Okay, but we know for sure she'll be at the refuge on April 1st.
April 1st.
What time is that lecture happening? Do you know?
What I have is 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. Okay. Call ahead if you have any questions.
Yeah,
and
that
Steve
may be,
they'll be able to help you with
that.
that.
May be the time we want the volunteers out there to help set up.
Okay. Well, you might get a few more volunteers. You just tell everybody to be there at 10.
Yeah, be there at 10. We'll help. You can put the chairs in place.
And then you sit in one and hear the lecture.
There you go.
And we're always looking for new members, too.
Absolutely.
So individual, family, and business members and sponsors for the upcoming Dragonfly Festival.
And that's a great way to support is
Yes.
sponsoring here. And I know September seems a long way away, but it's not that far away. And
It'll be here before you know it.
September 9th is our 2023 Dragonfly.
Awesome. Good deal.
Yeah.
So mark it on your calendars. Obviously, as we get close to that event, we'll start talking more about it. But if you're interested in becoming a sponsor and things, it's not too early. Reach out to if you go to friendsofbitterlake.org and they'll be happy to get you all the information you need to sponsor, or if you want to get more involved.
Or join, yeah. Now, the point of interest here, you have volunteers and you have Friends of Bitter Lake.
Okay.
Now, you can be either one or both.
Okay.
Volunteers work directly with Steve.
Okay.
Volunteering. We have people who go out and count birds.
Okay.
That's part of the volunteer group.
Gotcha.
We have people that actually go out and do maintenance
Help
projects.
with some of the research and things. And
They work with the biologist, etc. And those are volunteers. They may also be a member of the Friends group.
Okay, so you can do both. It
We can
depends
do
how
both.
how active you want to get in.
That's right.
And obviously, serving on Friends of Bitter Lake, becoming a member, your finances also support that.
That's
becoming
right.
That member and signing up as a member, that money goes back again to these projects we've been talking about here.
Yeah, and we're one of the cheapest Friends groups you're going to find. An individual is $10.
There you go.
That's a year,
And that is very helpful to keep life and things going on at the refuge there. So please come out to the talk on April 1st. Don't forget April 20th, Earth Day will be the volunteer
22nd.
monarch.
22nd.
22nd, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I had April 20th in my head for some reason. But that come out for Earth Day and come out and be a part of the Monarch Trail Butterfly upkeep there as we do the stuff there. And, of course, you don't have to wait till April 1st to come out. Come out this weekend. Come on out. I hear it's going to be beautiful in 70s, I think, Saturday. So,
and the wind's supposed to be down.
Yeah, Sunday might be a little windy.
Yay.
Sunday might be a little windy, but Saturday and Friday are good days to go out to the refuge, weather-wise, I think, for the next couple of days here. And then friendsofbitterlake.org. Go there if you want to learn more about the Friends, learn more about becoming a friend, learn more about some of these upcoming events and exactly what they do. So, is there anything we missed?
We have 70 sinkholes
Wow.
on the refuge.
By design? No.
You do want to miss those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Did you know that at one time back in what 50s or something, somebody stole a car and drove it into one of those sinkholes?
Really?
And it got lost there for years. Nobody found it.
And then someone said, "Hey, what's this car doing in a sinkhole?"
That's about right. It was underwater, so
wow.
so they finally dug it out.
What kind of car was it? I wonder. You can tell what year car was and all that.
Yeah, I don't
Give
know.
you a clue.
I
It'd be
find
funny
out,
if they go back and registered who was registered to and everything. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But, and to be honest, we're running short on time, but we talk about the history of Bitter Lake and all of that refuge there, and it not only is it really a history of our nature and everything, but human history too. There's as much native history and the buffalo hunting. Absolutely. And how the Native Americans this land for buffalo hunting, but which the way this
there you go.
Painting portrays and all that history is just as prevalent out there as the natural history that's out there too.
Absolutely.
So please visit. Please come visit.
Please
Check
come
it out.
visit Bitter Lake. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next time, if not sooner. And like I said, if we want to get some more time outside of this, just to talk about some of these, like as we get a little closer to the 22nd, there maybe we can. That'll be right around that time, so we'll remind folks about that too. So,
all right.
Good deal.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys.
Good.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
And congratulations on presidency here, or condolences. I'm not sure which. It could go either way.
A little both.
A little bit of each.
Why do you think I had her take over?
Sounds like I'm down to 27 jobs now.
That's right.
All right, it is 8:33.
Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. A New Mexico House bill that would block a nuclear waste storage project proposal in southeast New Mexico has now cleared the state Senate and is headed to the governor's desk. The bill, sponsored by Democrat Senator Jeff Steinborn, would require express consent from state leaders for any nuclear waste storage site. It would also require the federal government have a permanent repository for the waste before a temporary storage site could be built in New Mexico. Carlsbad police are asking for some new clues in hopes of solving a December burglary at a local Pizza Hut. If you go to the Carlsbad Police Facebook page, you can see a surveillance picture of the man who broke into the store at 1201 Canal Street on December 11th before it opened for the day. If you recognize that man, you are asked to call Carlsbad Police at 575-885-2111 or Eddy County Crime Stoppers at 575-887-1888. You can always remain anonymous. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
The I told you so moment came last week. The U.S. Department of Energy released a report concluding that the COVID-19 virus most probably escaped from a Chinese military bioweapons lab in Wuhan. Yesterday, China began threatening, wait for it, Elon Musk. Can you guess why? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job for free and find qualified candidates quickly at linkedin.com/Kim. Here's what's happening. A Chinese state-run newspaper issued a warning to SpaceX, Twitter, and Tesla CEO Elon Musk after he shared the COVID-19 Chinese lab leak story, the same report that's been widely covered in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and every other legitimate news agency. The Chinese communist newspaper publicly asked Musk if he is biting the hand that feeds him. You see, Tesla operates a huge factory in Shanghai, and China is Tesla's second largest market. The Wuhan lab story is quite sensitive to China, and all of us should be asking, why is that? Be sure to get my daily longer podcast perfect for when you're on the go, called Kim Commando Today. Are you prepared for the unexpected? It's only a matter of time before your out-of-warranty vehicle is in the shop costing thousands. If that unexpected breakdown happened today, would you be ready? You can be with a plan through CarShield. When I needed a repair on an older vehicle, CarShield saved me over $4,000. With CarShield, I don't have to worry about what might happen to my car next. After all, your car is more than just getting you from point A to point B. From picking up your kids to going to a new restaurant, cars are an essential part of our lives. That's why CarShield offers protection plans to fit every budget and include 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, and rental car eligibility. Call now to save 20%, so you'll always be prepared for the unexpected. Call 800-858-2550 or go to carshield.com/Kim. That's 800-858-2550 or visit carshield.com/Kim to save 20% today. That's carshield.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Another strong storm system dropping into the Great Basin and eventually moving into the Four Corners. That'll bring us gusty wind today. We'll have a few early clouds, but sunny this afternoon. Wind kicking up to 40 miles an hour and pretty mild. Our high today in the low 70s. Breezy upper 30s and a few clouds for the overnight hours, and then a mix of sunshine and clouds. clouds, maybe a shower on Thursday, mid-50s and very windy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hey, New Mexico. Experiencing issues keeping your office technology up to date with these crazy supply chain issues? Well, DSI is here to help. We've diversified our products and solutions to help your business not just survive, but thrive in any situation. Have your teams collaborate and share with high-def video walls and interactive smart panels. With free unlimited support, the fear of any new technology is a thing of the past. Contact DSI today to upgrade your workspace. www.dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Yesterday we told you about how the softball teams are getting ready to play Roswell and Goddard High. How about in baseball? Well, Goddard High will get started on Friday with a pair of games, a doubleheader at Valencia in Los Lunas. That starts at 4:30. Last year Goddard was 13-14 overall, 6-3 in district play, so not bad in district, but a loss to district rival Artesia in a state playoff series. Meanwhile, on Saturday, it's the beginning of the season for the NMMI Colts. You remember what happened last year? NMMI won the state championship in Class 3A, finished 23-6 overall, defeating East Mountain, actually walloping East Mountain 17-1 in the title game. It couldn't have gone any better. We'll see how it goes this year. NMMI at Hatch Valley on Saturday. A doubleheader starts at noon. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. A former FTX executive pleaded guilty Tuesday to conspiracy and wire fraud charges as part of a deal to cooperate with federal prosecutors building their case against FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried in what authorities have dubbed one of the biggest frauds in history. The plea by the former cryptocurrency company's engineering director raises to 3 the number of people who prosecutors say have pleaded guilty in connection with the case. Target plans to invest as much as $5 billion this year, expanding services for customers, including a drive-up service for returns, renovations at 175 stores, and improvements in online shopping. Tesla will build a new plant in northern Mexico, the country's president said on Tuesday, marking a push by the electric vehicle maker to broaden operations outside the United States in a deal said by a source to be worth at least $1 billion. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Attention gun and knife collectors. 505 Productions present the Roswell, New Mexico Gun Show, Saturday, March 4th and Sunday, March 5th at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. Guns, knives, reloading supplies, Western collectibles, and great gifts, jewelry, antiques, collectibles, and more. Brands you know and love like Winchester, Colt, Ruger, Case, and so much more. Open Saturday, 9 to 5, 10 to 4 on Sunday. Bring the whole family. Adults $7 and $10 for the entire weekend. Kids 12 and under are free. The Roswell, New Mexico Gun and Knife Show, March 4th and March 5th at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. Don't miss it.
Artesia Car Enthusiast, Artesia Chamber of Commerce, and Artesia Main Street bring you the 24th Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise 2023. Last year's record number of cars of all ages and sizes is sure to be beaten as we have expanded areas for vehicle display, added more food vendors, tractor row, and even a bike boulevard all downtown. We kick things off Friday, March 31st at 6 p.m. for the Main Street Cruise from Bulldog Bowl to 2nd Street and back. Join us Saturday, April 1st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. as Artesia transforms into one of the hottest spots for car enthusiasts, residents, and visitors. Please come together to enjoy a weekend filled with music, cruising, friendly competition, and lots of fun for the whole family. Spectators are always free. For more information or to register your car, go to artesiachamber.com or stop by the office at 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The Main Event Car Show and Cruise, Friday, March 31st and Saturday, April 1st in downtown Artesia, and paid for by Artesia Laundry Tax.
If your tires are flat and need your car fixed, our reviews are better than mixed at Big O. At Big O Tires. We do the job fast and with a smile. Whatever the problem, we go the extra mile at Big O. At Big O Tires. Trusted service, no need to lie. Hop online, our reviews are high at Big O. At Big O Tires. Unbeatable service in all our stores, and that's why we get such high scores at Big O. At Big O Tires.
With high customer ratings, you can trust your locally owned Big O Tires. Now through March 26th,
Buy 3, get 1 free on select in-stock Sumitomo or Cooper branded tires with installation purchase. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation required. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary. Not valid with other offers. At participating locations, no cash value.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Get ready for the most out-of-this-world weekend Roswell has ever seen. UFO Expo 2023, March 10th through the 12th at the Roswell Convention Center. 3 days packed with 40 different events, including 10 different film screens, producers, celebrity personalities, and renowned speakers, and all just a few blocks from the UFO Museum and Research Center. The 3-day pass includes VIP parties, mixer tents, speakers, live music, film festival, cosplay events, and more. Get tickets and more info at UFOXPO.com. UFO Expo 2023, March 10th through the 12th at the Roswell Convention Center.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:50. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. Andrew Moore with the Roswell Chamber of Commerce will join us, give us an update on events and things coming up there through the chamber. Hey, the Sunday Fun Day event that was originally scheduled for Sunday that got canceled on Sunday due to the high winds and all that has been rescheduled for this Sunday, March 5th, 3 p.m. The Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico's Sunday Fun Day event will be what's called a fun little deal with John LeMay and his latest book called Once Upon a Time in Fort Sumner. And, of course, he'll be talking about some of the tales and things that he covers in the book. It's a work of fiction. It's one of his fictional books, but it's based on historical events and things like that. So
I tried going to that last Sunday.
Well, now you can go. You can go this Sunday, 3 o'clock, 208 North Lee at the Archives facility. If you have any questions, want more information, check out the website, roswellnmhistory.org, or call 575-622-8333. Some of the stories they're going to be covering, including tales of a surviving Billy the Kid meeting with the governor in 1950, which is really a tale because I'm pretty sure that wasn't him. But anyway, plus tales of the Navajo skinwalker and the Lost Adams diggings as well, too. So a lot of cool, lesser-known history of this part of the world. So
I feel so bad because I have his last book, the Pancho Dumas one.
Mm-hmm.
The noted desperado Pancho Dumas.
Yeah.
And I still haven't read it yet.
Well,
I'm a big procrastinator when it comes to books.
So when's the last time you read a book?
Like, can't remember.
Yeah, I've been bad too. I love to read. Lately I haven't. I don't even have a book going. I haven't had one in a while, and
my dad
kind of bugs me.
My dad got me a copy of Fahrenheit 465. The Ray Bradbury book for my birthday one time, and I still haven't read it like a few years ago.
So you're a little behind.
And that's one I want to read too.
Yeah. It's I think technology has changed my, you know what I mean? We got so many other distractions now. Where I used to use that time to sit and read a book, and now there's other distractions. So
you got your
that's
book
part
people.
of my problem.
I'm just not a book person. Like, I think there's book people and there's other people.
I'm a book
the rest of us.
person, but my life doesn't always allow me to be a book person sometimes. And part of that's me dedicating time to it. That's all me. I don't want to blame the world or nothing, but I'm easily distracted with other things right now. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, I need to get back into reading too. So I hear you. But come out Sunday, Fun Day, this Sunday, March 5th, 3 p.m. at the Archives facility. next to the museum, 208 North Lee, right here in Roswell. Also, if you're going to the website to check out info on the Sunday Fun Day, if you're a high school senior or even a college student, don't forget the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico has their scholarship window going on right now. Thanks to the Linda Hayes Trust and the Hayes family, we've got thousands of dollars that they're going to be awarding for scholarships for humanities and art scholarship, STEM scholarship, character scholarship, and a continuing education scholarship. That's new this year for students currently enrolled in higher learning. They can apply for that scholarship and pay for their continuing education there. So applications are available at the website. Just again, go to roswellnmhistory.org. You can also shoot an email to historydirector@outlook.com or call 575-622-8333 and get your applications there. The deadline to get those in, March 31st. You're officially in a 1-month warning. Get those in by March 31st. So one other thing, we got time to tell you about. The 20th Annual ENMUR Foundation Golf Tournament coming up Saturday, April 8th. It's their annual 4-person scramble. This is the foundation's kind of biggest fundraising event for scholarship money, things like that. They do it every year, but it's coming up April 8th. It's a 4-person scramble, shotgun starting at 8 a.m. Team minimum, total handicap of 40. Cost is $100 per player or $400 per team. They're offering prizes this year for the top 3 teams, also prizes for closest to the pin, plus drawings for other great prizes too. Plus, every year that the foundation does their golf tournament, they get great catering of food and things. So they always have good eats and things like that too. So come for the golf, stay for the food, and all of it to help the NMUR Foundation. To get a team registered, or if you would like to sponsor a tee box or a hole or something like that, reach out to Craig Collins. He's the foundation coordinator. Reach out to him at 575-624-7304. Again, that's 575-624-7304. Or you can shoot him an email, craig.collins, that's Craig with a C, Collins, Collins, at roswell.enmu.edu. I believe you can also go to the NMMI Golf Pro Shop, sign up your teams there. But if you want to sponsor or do something like that, be a bigger part, reach out to Craig direct. Again, 575-624-7304.
So all you golfers out there.
Can you golf? Have you golfed?
Let's get it.
Do you golf? Have you ever golfed?
I've done mini golf.
Mini golf?
Or putt-putt.
Have you ever been to a golf course or to a driving range?
I don't think I've done actual golf, no.
Okay.
I just, I've never had the opportunity to.
Yeah, I've golfed several times in my life. I'm not a golfer. I wanted to be for a little bit, like many things.
Right.
I just lost interest. It's not my thing.
I just assumed it was like a lot of money too, or like it was a rich people thing. Or
that's the well, yes, that was kind of been for years but they
like it's a high entry fee or something.
Well, in the last 10 years or so, they're trying to bring newer people to the game. So that's kind of come down a little bit, but yeah, there's always been that mindset that golf is a rich person's game and things like that. But I think that concept is starting to change a little bit. They're creating a lot more. You have like the First Tee program here in Roswell that they get children in, and it's all free, and they help them get the clubs, because that's the thing, is the equipment's expensive. It costs some money to buy a set of clubs. It just does. Right. And then I know greens fees and all that, because it does cost a lot of money to upkeep those golf courses and everything. So yeah, it's probably a little pricey to do all that, but they kind of, I know for like young folks, when they do sports and all that, they kind of they work around that kind of stuff. So if you have younger folks that are into it, please reach out to like First Tee or golf programs at school, things like that.
Yeah, I was watching it on TV on the CW the other day, and it was actually like people were getting excited whenever you have that moment where it's like they're like kind of close to the hole, and it's going in, and it's slowly creeping in, and then it starts to turn, and it suddenly goes in, and people get like,
Oh yeah,
people get excited.
The golf fans. My father-in-law and my mother-in-law, they watch golf on TV. I don't understand how they do it, but they love it. They do it when we go over there. And that's the only time, if I ever sit down and see golf on TV, is usually when I'm up visiting them. And so I've caught, half hour here or there of it, and not my thing.
Right.
But at the same time, there is a certain anticipation when they're putting, and you're like, oh, is he going to miss it? Is he going to miss it? He missed it. Oh, there's a little of that going on.
Well,
and let's face it, those guys are so good that when they drop a ball in the green and it overshots, but they backspin it back towards the hole.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool to see.
When it curves in.
That's pretty cool. So I can appreciate that and see it for about 5 minutes, but to watch it every weekend for hours on end, oh no, that's just monotonous. There's no way I'm into that. And I'm not interested enough to even play it. Like, I've gone golfing. I was like, yeah, it's fun for like half the time I'm here. If I could just like I'd much rather go to the driving range, whack the ball for an hour, and then call it good. That's more fun to me than
I feel like it's a relaxing yet stressful game to play. Like, relaxing and stressful at the same time.
Like laundry. All right, it's 8 o'clock. We got to go. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Do not go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. There will be no second term for Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. As crime soars and her approval ratings plummet, voters are sending Lightfoot packing. Two of her Democrat challengers, Paul Vallis and Brandon Johnson, will face each other in an April runoff. Well, this winter has seen several powerful coast-to-coast storms, and here comes one more.
California continues to be battered by fierce weather with fresh snow falling in the mountains and even cold temperatures in the San Francisco Bay and elsewhere. But National Weather Service meteorologist David Roth says another storm is expected to target all 48 lower states, and the precipitation you get depends on where you live in relation to a warm front.
If you're near and just north of the warm front, you'd be talking about heavy rainfall. If you're far enough to the north of the warm front in the cold air, you'd be talking about freezing rain and snow.
I'm Donna Warder.
3 Kansas City, Missouri police officers in the hospital this morning after being shot while serving a warrant last night. They're described as alert, awake, and talking. Their injuries not considered life-threatening. Conservative Supreme Court justices appeared skeptical of President Biden's plan to wipe away or reduce millions of student loans.
At the High Court, Justice Neil Gorsuch asked about the fairness of the president's plan and those not receiving debt forgiveness.
People who've paid their loans, people who don't plan their lives around not seeking loans, and people who are not eligible for loans.
The Biden administration defended the legal authority in canceling student loans, but Chief Justice John Roberts suggested that the administration had exceeded its authority. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Stocks have been drifting between gains and losses this first day of the month. Right now, the Dow is up 26 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A head-on train crash in Greece left dozens of people dead, many more injured.
A passenger train carrying hundreds of people, including many university students returning home from holiday, has collided at high speed with an oncoming freight train. Officials say multiple train cars derailed and at least 3 caught fire after the crash of the Athens to Thessaloniki train. Survivors say several passengers were thrown through the windows of the train cars due to the impact. They say others fought to free themselves after the passenger train buckled, slamming into a field near a gorge. I'm Charles Dilladesma.
Former Soviet satellite Slovakia has been a NATO member since 2004, but the reality of belonging to the alliance really hit home after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The small country now hosts thousands of NATO troops, while Allied aircraft patrol its skies. News and analysis, townhall.com. The Help Wanted sign is out at the Transportation Security Administration.
The TSA is looking to hire more than 400 new air marshals.
After 9/11, we had a large group of people who found a calling with the Federal Air Marshal Service, and they are all due to retire. So we are in need of hiring.
Supervisory Federal Air Marshal Danielle Kokuza says they're especially looking for women air marshals. Assistant Special Agent Daniel Brown says not everyone is cut out to be an air marshal.
We are the last line of defense. We want to make sure that we get the very best of the best.
Air marshal candidates must have excellent eyesight and handgun sharpshooting skills and must be able to blend in on a crowded airplane 30,000 feet in the sky. I'm Ed Donahue.
Puerto Rico's government is closing the U.S. territory's only zoo. The closure of the 45-acre zoo coincides with a federal investigation of allegations of animal mistreatment. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. The Deuce. Oh, Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to do it.
You wanted to, though. That's
I wanted
the thing.
to.
It was bubbling right here under the surface.
Because it's the thing of the day to me.
I appreciate the politeness that you didn't burp in public, even though you knew it was waiting right here. You didn't break wind before us.
Well, if you knew me like you do,
right.
But like people that know me, I kind of thrive on messing with people.
It's just it itches at you. I understand.
I'm like, especially
as someone with OCD, you have to understand when you don't get to do the thing that needs to be done.
Yeah,
it hurts. It's like a physical, like, oh.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Yeah.
You not being able to be pessimistic and say it's going to be windy today, that hurts.
Well, I know you're going to do a reaction when I do it, so half of me just says,
that's just not with it.
I just want to say it just because I know he's going to start
Even though,
it.
in not saying it, we've actually drawn more attention to the fact that today is a big bag of suck.
And victory is mine.
Well played, sir. Well played. Never let it be said that you don't know how to steer a conversation.
I'm a pain in the tail.
Even in not saying it, you still sort of said it.
I ain't gonna lie. Some days I'm like, why did my wife marry me? Because I'm a complete jerk.
Honestly, though, that's why.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that jerk in your life. You need the advocate.
I'm not the jerk you want. I'm the jerk you need.
We need, exactly. That's right. You're the jerk we deserve.
And then people are laughing like, what a jerk. Yes, I am. There was a thing inside of me. And it's really when people think they know and they act like that and they kind of get a little pompous, my favorite thing to just throw in one sentence that just completely shatters their entire argument. And I live for those moments. That's what I do.
It's a real gut punch. You're like, people come in thinking they have a little confidence in how they feel about something. You come in and just take the air out of the room.
I do enjoy that.
Hey, wait a minute.
Call me a character flaw. Call whatever you want. It is what it is.
No, it's that the world needs you people.
I'm a you people.
You're a you people now. I'm somebody. I'm not going to finish that statement. Yep. I'm real somebody.
That's why Twitter frustrates me so much.
That's why I stay off of Twitter.
I know, but it's like crack.
With my blood pressure, I don't think I can handle it.
I should not be. I should, because every time I'm ready to break something, every time I get on there, but I can't help it. It's I don't know.
It's like
I'm a
when
masochist.
you have an abscess in your mouth and you just can't help but poke at it with your tongue.
Right.
Yeah, I understand.
It's like the saying when at least my mom did, because she too was a smart aleck. It would be stuff like, "Ow, my elbow hurts when I touch it." Well, don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Look, my mom. Hey,
it hurts when I do this. Well, stop doing that.
Yeah, that was her, and this is probably why I'm that way. Because my whole life, my mother did it to me.
Your mom had a real walk it off mentality.
Yeah, just hey. You see my shoes? Where's the last place you looked? Well, if I'd known that, Ma, I wouldn't be asking you where my shoes are. Right. You know what I mean? It's just the smart alecky comments that apple don't fall far from the tree.
Well, where'd you take them off at? I don't know.
Yeah. Or if I'm in mid-thought or something and I say, I can't remember. Well, it could have been that important then, could it? It's like, thank you.
The self-awareness would be arriving at that moment, realizing how your mom, in this case, would have handled it and saying, I don't have to do that. I can be different.
I would agree with you if I was in
This is the only way I am breaking away from my father, is by getting to those points where my dad was and be like, I don't have to go down this path.
But
just saying.
I don't want to.
But I don't want to.
That's
it. Feels good to poke the abscess. I get it.
I feel like I've survived the gauntlet. It's my time to reap that reward. And my reward is I don't know how many times I joke for years, but I kind of not joking. I can't wait to get old enough to the point where I can say what I want and people just chalk it up as being old. I just want to tell people what I really think, and they're like, oh, he's just old, don't worry about it. And eviscerate them, and they think, oh, he's old and crazy. I'm like, I just told that idiot, and he thinks I'm an idiot, and that's fine.
You just want to be crotchety when you grow up, that's all.
I do. I enjoy crotchety.
You're aiming high.
Get off my lawn.
That's right. Well, you've only got 30 more years to get there, bud. So,
you're being optimistic.
No, up to that, you're just a self-important adult.
Actually, I've seen my family track record. I don't have a lot of 80, 90-year-olds in my family. I'm just saying. They a lot of them die in their 50s.
Just go ahead and get yourself a real creative obituary writer, and you're going to live on after.
But this way, I don't have any more grandparents or parents. They're all dead. And they all died in their 50s and 60s.
Well, in fairness, I only have one parent left, so I'm getting close.
Yeah. See? So, we talk 80s and stuff.
That wasn't death, by the way. That was me on wood.
Knocking on heaven's door.
Just so we're clear.
But, yeah, so, of course, my wife, every time I say that, stop saying that. I was like, hey, I mean, I just saying,
Yeah.
I am a realist here.
That's right.
The odds aren't in my favor.
I like salt and sugar. I know I'm not long for this world, okay? I'm of that mindset. I get it.
It's just DNA, man. It's what happens sometimes. Let me give you the rundown before I completely depress everybody.
It did get a little bit dark here.
Hey, guess you're not going to complain. So I'm going to say it's windy today, huh?
If we just would have let him say it was windy. We could have pulled the nose up right at the front. Oh man.
Oh man. We'll get you up to date with the weather. I'll tell you it's windy here in just a few minutes.
He still gets to say it too. Oh, you just get it all. He just gets it all.
Hey, this is what I need to make me
You're
happy.
a buffet fan. That's what you are. You are an overindulger.
I do. I do it to excess. That's what I do.
Well played.
But And then we'll take a quick break. After that, we'll have Andrew Moore at the Chamber of Commerce join us.
Oh, is that why she's standing there?
Give us an update on what's going on at the Chamber. Later on, we'll get you up to date with news and, of course, your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with. And we'll tell you it's windy again, probably a little later on in the hour. So
say it one more time. Just one more.
Everyone knows it's windy. All right, it is 8:13. Guess what we're going to do next? The weather. Here you go.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Another strong storm system dropping into the Great Basin and eventually moving into the Four Corners. That'll bring us gusty wind today. We'll have a few early clouds, but sunny this afternoon. Wind kicking up to 40 miles an hour and pretty mild. Our high today in the low 70s. Breezy upper 30s and a few clouds for the overnight hours, and then a mix of sunshine and clouds. Maybe a shower on Thursday, mid 50s and very windy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 48 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 32%. Winds are calm at the moment. Oh, that's funny. We do have a red flag warning that will be issued officially here at 10 a.m. this morning and remain in effect through 7 p.m. Guess what? I won't say it, but it is what it is. It's going to be windy. Mostly sunny and a high of 75 today. Winds out of the south this morning 5 to 10, increasing 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 later today. Tonight, mostly clear, overnight low of 39 degrees with south winds at around 15 miles per hour. Thursday, there is a slight chance of some rain showers after 11, mostly sunny and a high of 54, so note that. 75 today, 54 tomorrow. That's a 20-degree drop. With a slight chance of rains. Yeah, with a chance of rain. Southwest winds 20 to 25. Early, increasing 25 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, areas of blowing dust before 11, partly cloudy, overnight low of 30. Blustery with a northwest wind 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Those winds will drop down 15 to 20 after midnight. Friday, back up in the upper 60s under sunny skies. West winds at around 15 miles per hour. Sunny and 66 for your Saturday. And then Sunday, just blow the doors off of everything. Mostly sunny and 77. We'll be pushing 80 on Sunday. Hopefully no winds. They don't talk about winds yet. And then we'll be in the upper 70s for the first part of next week as well. All right, it is 8:15. We're going to take a 2-minute break, pay some bills. And then we'll be back on the other side with Andrew Moore from the Chamber. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. That's 800-503-3735.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chamber of Commerce, Executive Director Andrew Moore back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Pretty good. So I hear it's windy.
That's
going to be.
That's the rumor. Allegedly. Allegedly. Going to be windy.
It's breezy at the moment. There's a slight breeze when I was walking over.
Maybe I jinxed it all. Watch, it'll all peter out to be nothing today, and it's all because of this morning's conversation.
Well, my yard would appreciate that.
Yeah, well, tis the season, even though it feels like it's a little early. But
it does feel a little early.
Yeah.
I know my daughter had a field trip scheduled for tomorrow where they were going to go to NMSU.
Okay.
And it's the same field trip that I believe it was Mountain View took over the winter.
Oh,
and
yeah, and had the issue.
Yeah, and so when they heard the high wind warning for tomorrow, they canceled.
Sure.
They were like, yeah, we already had one bus flip. We're good.
Probably sage thinking there.
Yeah. So my daughter's happy. She's sad that she's missing the field trip, that they postponed it, but happy she doesn't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And buses, you can sleep on them, but they're not that comfortable.
Yeah. Because her and her buddies were already, okay, we got our pillows, we've got our blankets.
Right.
Oh, we're going to be able to be on our phones. So asking for all the extra chargers and batteries and stuff because they knew that they wouldn't have a place to be able to charge during the day.
Yeah. Yeah, so they bring those portable chargers, all that stuff. But, well, she gets to sleep in 2 hours tomorrow or whatever. So.
Exactly. So she's a little happy.
Of course, lots going on with the Chamber of Commerce right now. It is, as we're kind of, I don't know if we're coming into spring or what we're doing right now, but whatever it is, it's getting busy with the Chamber.
Oh, yeah. So. We're super excited. As you could tell last night from our board meeting that we just had, my plethora of notes going over everything.
Yeah.
For example, Leadership Roswell is in high swing, and today they are on their way to Artesia to go tour the FLETC facility and enjoy all of that stuff.
Normally they do Fridays, but I think because this is one of their special trips, they kind of work around the schedule of FLETC.
Correct.
That's more important than the Leadership Roswell one, so the availability was today, not Friday. So that's why they're all doing it
traditionally,
today.
FLETC has been on Wednesdays, and so I'm not sure if that's just because
Mine was a Friday.
Oh, at FLETC?
Yeah, mine was a Friday.
When
but
my
I didn't get
year
to
we
drive
were-
cars. I
See,
got to
we
shoot
did.
guns, but I didn't get to drive cars.
Yeah, see, the year I went, which I think was the year before you,
I think you're right. Yeah.
we did the cars and the shooting, and it was so much fun.
Now I got to do the cars with at the time it was Mystic.
Yes.
And that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We went on a tour over there because I knew the gentleman that ran the facility.
Yeah.
And so he was like, you want to come over? You want to check this out? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. They dogged those cars.
Oh, yeah. So,
It's cool.
absolutely. So, Leadership Roswell's doing that today. And then at the end of the month, they're going to have their agribusiness day.
Okay.
Which they'll learn all about agriculture in Chaves County and our surrounding area. So, we're excited for that.
Do they visit a dairy on that one? Or
I have not seen the finalized agenda because we just
So I think
met.
that's the year I got to. That's the one I got to go out to the dairy. I thought. And,
Correct.
And see the cows. And
Traditionally, that's what they do. That they've gone to a dairy, they've gone out to Pecos Valley Productions and toured their.
see that wasn't
wonderful-
available when I was in. So
Yeah.
that probably is a good idea. They'd send me there.
And that's a cool tour, especially with the class, because it's always neat to observe the class. Because some people are kind of
right.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here, and then other people are like, woohoo!
Yeah, right.
this
You
is
find out real quick who the Cheech and Chong fans are.
And you get to learn all about their facility and how it all works and the regulations and stuff. So, and then of course, April, there's one more class after that. Manufacturing Day in April, and then graduation.
And then they graduate, I guess in May would be or they're going to do it in the end of April.
Tentatively right now they have graduation in April, but anywhere between April and May, they'll do their big graduation.
And then right after that, they'll be taking applications for the next class. That usually wraps up in July, but up until July, they're taking applications.
Correct.
And things. So we'll talk more about that down the road. We'll get through graduation stuff
Absolutely.
Before we get there. But that's just the tip of the iceberg of what's going on here in the coming months through the chamber. Of course, one of the big tentpole events
is our Rise with Roswell event.
And it is back on the schedules, and we got a full-blown pre-COVID-esque.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-COVID-esque Rise with Roswell.
Last year was kind of we came out of COVID and had it. And this year, it's going to be even better. We've got Matt, the gooder guy, Rush, as our guest speaker. He has come and spoke with Rise with Roswell a number of times in the past, but it's been quite a while since he's come and visit us. So we're excited to have him back as our speaker. And that is Thursday, March 23rd, super early in the morning, 6 a.m., but you're done by 8. And we provide a full breakfast with eggs and bacon and sausage, lots and lots of coffee, biscuits and gravy.
You are fueled well.
Yes.
And yes, for us non-farmers and ranchers, these are farmer and rancher hours.
Absolutely.
Therefore, it's around them. So we'd love to invite you to come out, celebrate our farmers and ranchers.
Please do.
And, of course, Matt Rush is an excellent... Go online and check him out.
He's fantastic.
He's a very great speaker, someone that I think you'll enjoy listening to and hearing and seeing his personality and all that good stuff. So it'll be well worth getting up at dark 30 to come out and have breakfast.
Absolutely, and it's out at the fairgrounds. And our individual tickets are $25 a piece. And if you'd like to be a table sponsor, they are $800.
Okay.
And we do have a room for a few more table sponsors. So please contact us at the chamber. Or you can go online on our fantastic website and you can register all electronically online, be able to register and pay online.
Do all the fancy high-tech stuff there.
That's right.
So highfalutin. But but if you don't like any of that, just call the chamber.
Absolutely, and we can get you registered.
The answer phone will get you registered and everything else. And certainly, if you want to sponsor a table, I would do that closer to this next week or two.
I would do it sooner than later because our tables
to the end of the month.
Go pretty quickly.
Absolutely, and especially if you're maybe you're a farmer rancher, or maybe you're a company that wants to honor someone and say, hey, let me pay it forward and treat you guys to breakfast. Take 80 of your folks out to breakfast.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
I love the event. Yeah, it's kind of early, but it's
that's
much fun.
That's the only drawback is you're up at 0600, or you're up a lot earlier, but you're at the thing at 0600 and stuff. But if you're used to that, that's no big deal. So, but good news is if you play your cards right and turn it into a work thing, you take it off and say, hey, I came in 2 hours early. I'm leaving 2 hours early for work today.
Oh, yeah. Like our office, we'll be done. We'll have 8 hours in by noon.
Yeah.
Because we'll have to be in so early to get everything set up.
Yeah, someone's got to get the thing ready.
but it, like I said, it's definitely worth it. So put it on your calendars, March 23rd, 6 a.m., out at the fairgrounds. And if you have not already heard from the chamber via email or a hard invitation, I promise you, over the next few weeks, we are going to be calling you. We are going to be emailing you. We are going to have it out there, and we're going to hound you until you buy a ticket or a table.
Absolutely. And trust me, if you've never been, come out to the first.
Absolutely. It's going to be
a great one for your first one. And come out, and like I said, the food's always great. And everyone puts a wonderful... puts the wonderful event together. The chamber folks, to the sponsors, to the food vendors, to everyone that's involved.
And it's right after legislative session because the Rise with Roswell event always happens with National Agriculture Week. And so we kind of put a nice little bow at the end of the week with our agricultural breakfast to celebrate everybody. And of course, at the end of session, that it just happens to dovetail. So a lot of our local elected officials will be out there as well to help celebrate.
And and of course, all the farmers and ranchers can discuss the fallout from the legislative session and see how it'll impact them and their businesses. So absolutely, and how to form a plan of attack to mitigate any problems that causes.
Absolutely, yes. So please come out and be a part of it.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of months, the Roswell Chamber has been real busy going up to Santa Fe. We've participated in the legislative reception, which is hosted by the Santa Fe Chamber as a time for businesses and chambers to have booths and network with our elected officials up there. That typically tends to be one of the first events that happen up in Santa Fe. It's not always the first, but it's right there in that first
that early
group
part of it, yeah.
of session. And so all the legislators come and walk around, and we had a great time. And I wanted to say thank you to all of those that donated items for us to take up to Santa Fe. Eastern New Mexico Medical Center, thank you so much. ENMUR Roswell, well, obviously Roswell, the college gave us some stuff. NEMI provided some wonderful backpacks that were stuffed with goodies, and then we were able to stuff everything else into backpacks and hand them out. Chimera had given us some stuff. Names and Numbers gave us some stuff. So thank you so much for all of our members that helped sponsor our event to go up there and make donations.
Absolutely appreciate it. It
wonderful goodies.
Helps, kind of grease the wheels and smooth things to get everyone talking and
absolutely.
Meeting. By the way, if you go to the Chamber's website and you want to, there's links to the legislative meetings and things. So if you want to see what sessions are going on today and all that, if you go to the Chamber's website, you'll find links to that and see. So if you're
under legislative news, we've got it all nice and separated out from federal to state to city and county. And we really work hard to make sure that the links are in there to be able to see agendas that are going on. For example, up in Santa Fe, we've got the links for the homepage to be able to watch the webcasts and the current calendars of what is being heard where, because now that we're starting to get towards the end of session, things are coming out of committees and starting to be heard on the floor at both the House and the Senate side. So please go and check that out. And in fact, be looking for some communication from us today. We're going to post some information on what is going on, for example, with the minimum wage bill that just passed.
A lot of businesses locally or across the state are following that one pretty close because, it's that's going to be a major impact on a lot of stuff around here with that one. So
correct.
A lot of people are paying attention there.
And paid sick leave, that's out there again. So be looking for all of that information. We're going to put a really nice email and post that stuff up on the website today as well.
So it's a great source there if you're wondering, hey, what's going, or if you're trying to follow a particular bill or something, you'll find a lot of the links and stuff right there at the Chamber website.
And if you can't find something, please feel free to call us. We are more than happy to help you navigate because some of those websites, especially governmental websites, are not always the easiest to navigate. But because I'm in there quite a bit, for me, it's easy. I'm like, oh, well, you just click.
Yeah.
And like my husband goes, how did you find that? Well, because I'm in there all the time. So I know where it's at, and we're happy to help and try to make things as easy. And if you are a member, a business, living here within the sounds of our voices, and there is legislation that you've heard about, please contact us, and we're happy to look up the specific information as well.
Yeah. Matter of fact, and of course you hear some rumors on the news, like some of the ones I heard yesterday was, I guess there's somebody out there trying to make every session a 60-day. I think I saw that one. I don't know if it's got any legs or not, and of course the time change ones are always every year they pop because Cliff has a version and then usually another legislator has the other version, and then I don't know where they're at this year. I heard something about a week ago of those. I haven't heard if they've got any legs this year or not.
And so we're happy to post any of that information. And then I also wanted to let everybody know that February 16th, we went back up to Santa Fe for Ag Fest, which is once again another reception where we get to highlight our agricultural ties and roots in New Mexico. We had a booth, and I want to say thank you very much to Dairy Producers of New Mexico. They provided the milk that we were able to hand out to everybody. And we gave out all of our milk before we were even done. And it was so funny because
ran out early.
Everybody, wanted it. And of course, you always start off, okay, one per person. And then as it gets towards the end of the night, there were some of the agricultural students that would come by and they're like, oh, well, we've got to get on the bus. And okay, sure. You want two?
Yeah.
Okay, here, have a couple different flavors.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what, so it was really cool to meet those kids. And once again, just get back in touch with our legislators, talk to them about what they see is going on.
Absolutely.
So we were very thankful to be up there twice this year. And then we've just got lots of in-house stuff that goes on. For example, our Joyriders meet every Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a aspiring writer of any kind, whether it be novels, poetry, short stories, they would love to have you come join their group.
Absolutely.
They are an amazing group of people.
Do they meet weekly at the chamber?
They meet weekly about 3:30.
Okay.
And go anywhere from 4:30 to 5.
Okay. What day of the week are they there?
Wednesdays. Every
okay.
Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
So
okay.
come on by.
Yeah. Matter of fact, yesterday I had an opportunity to meet two of the Joyriders.
Ava and her mother.
Two lovely ladies.
Sweet ladies.
Yeah. And of course, we look forward to continuing to do things with them and them making us look and sound good. Anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, hey, those chamber people can write. It's like, it's not us, it's the Joyrider.
Yep. And we are diligently working at finally bringing back some of the tried and true chamber events that we've done. Our Sheriff's Luncheon.
Good deal.
Our Mornings with the Mayor. And we're in the process of developing what something with the county would look like.
Okay.
And all of those would be monthly.
Okay.
So our calendar at the chamber would essentially be we would have one of those things happening each week.
Gotcha.
So that way we can get back into the swing of things.
Okay. Are we going to business after hours? Are we going to pick that back up?
We're always happy to do business after hours, but we're also in the process of kind of tweaking that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I've noticed that there is a big groundswell. People don't want to necessarily have alcohol served at a lot of their events anymore. So this is a trend that we're seeing.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure everybody that is listening, if you want to have a business after hours, it is not required to serve alcohol. I have been to many events that have been successful that have not had alcohol. It is a time to celebrate your business and then to network with our members in the community.
We had one here years ago, and I don't think we did alcohol at that one. Back when we first opened this building and all that, it was we had a business after hours, and I don't recall us doing alcohol. I mean, they had food and drinks, but not those drinks.
Yeah.
It was like sodas and water.
And so, you can be very successful both ways.
Yeah.
So please, if you're interested in doing a business after hours, absolutely, we would love to be able to do that for you, to showcase your business. And so those are the things that we're working on, is solidifying within the next 2 weeks. I'm hoping to have solid dates for like our sheriff, our Mornings with the Mayor, or city council, or whatever we call that. Because I know our mayor tends to be pretty busy and he's not always in town.
Sure.
So how do we incorporate the
His
city?
designate or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe the new manager would like to come in and help report. And then, of course, with our county commission, because especially with the city council and county commission, they meet monthly. So I would love to have them, come and start those programs back. And then, of course, we're looking into doing our lunch and learns again.
Yes.
So if anybody has any ideas on topics that they would like to have for us to present as a lunch and learn, I am all ears, because I promise you're going to get sick of the things that I come up with.
Well, and that's it too. And this is kind of to all the chamber members that are listening out there, and potential members as well here. Yes, I know you and your staff and everybody does an amazing job of trying to create content and create things that you think businesses in our community want to hear. But at the end of the day, it'd make your job a lot easier if you get feedback from all these other business. If you're like, hey, I love that you're doing this. It'd be really helpful for my business. A thing on, I don't know, benefits or HR
Exactly.
or maybe a thing on payroll. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Absolutely. That's why we've kind of partnered with SHRM, Southeastern New Mexico SHRM, with their event that's coming up in the next few weeks, because human resources is a big topic, especially with everything that's going on in Santa Fe with sick leave and minimum wage and all of that stuff. We can tie all of this stuff together. So please just let me know what you want to hear.
Sure.
If you want to have, a class on how to write resumes, on how to dress appropriately,
customer service,
any of that stuff,
for your
just let me
employees,
know. And we've got resources out there that we can reach out to and bring those in. And of course, a lunch and learn. We will have it in 45 minutes, so you can come in, eat, and then still be able to get back to work, because that's the purpose of a lunch and learn, is that it fits within that timetable.
We're going to hit up Nick, make him provide lunch for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If he's willing to provide McDonald's lunch, let me, hey, Nick, you're on the spot. Johnny,
when
on
you come
the
to the
spot.
meeting, bring some lunch with you.
That's right. But yeah, McDonald's has always been a great supporter of the chamber, and we appreciate everything they do for us as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But again, more to come. And like we said, please reach out. If you're hearing and you're thinking, man, I could benefit from, whatever, reach out to the chamber.
Yes.
They could say, hey, I happen to know someone that does that. We can do this, or let me do some research and see what we can find here.
Absolutely.
Maybe. But either way, put it on the radar there where we can.
Please do.
turn
And then
attention to it.
we've got our community calendar up on our website, and that is one of the items that is free and open to the public, whether you're a member or not. So if you are having an event of any kind, please put it up on our calendar so we can be that one space where, what's going on today? Come to the Roswell Chamber website and you'll be able to see everything that's going on for whoever. But if I don't know that you exist, I can't put your event up on the calendar.
Should shoot out there too.
Call us.
And like I said, a lot of times too, you incorporate that in your weekly email blasts and everything else. So it's not just something that people go to find, but she sends it out to the masses on Fridays.
We'll
and
put it
things
on
too.
our social media.
Yeah.
We'll, for example, this weekend is the opening weekend of Matilda with Way Off Broadway. And I'm a little, excited for it because my daughter is in the stage crew for the production.
Oh, okay.
So we're excited for that.
So, that's out at the college,
Out
right?
at the college,
Yeah,
the
out at
Performing Arts Center. And opening night is Friday night.
Good.
So they'll have a Friday night, a Saturday night, and I believe a Sunday matinee this weekend and next weekend.
If you've never been to a Way Off Broadway production,
you need to
you're
go.
missing out. Go. It doesn't matter what the play is. They do an amazing job. I've seen several of their shows, and every one of them's great. And and I'm not into musicals or anything like that. That's not my bag. But I go and have a good time.
Oh, they always. So. I agree. I'm not a huge musical person myself, but Way Off Broadway does a fantastic job, and I've never been sad when I've left.
Yeah, it's a good
always
time,
been
and
a
they're
good
a lot
time.
of fun, and they do amazing talents for a bunch of people that aren't. That's not what they do for a living.
Yes.
They all do other things.
And Matilda is going to be a hoot.
Yeah.
It is cast with a bunch of children because obviously the story of Matilda is a grade school child.
So they're breaking all the rules, and they say don't work with animals and kids, and they go.
And in fact, I dropped my daughter off for rehearsal the other night, and I looked around and I just looked at Summer and her crew, and I said, "God bless you all, Godspeed, and good luck."
Say there was probably a lot of unwinding going on after a lot of evenings there. So very cool. But come out to that. But again,
those are just examples of things we can do. So call us. And of course, as a member, there are so many more things we can do for you as a member. There are some things that we can do for you if you're not a member, but that's typically with a charge.
Sure.
We'll have to, because our time and effort and the things that we have to do, we do need to compensate for all of that. But as a member, a lot of times those same things are tied up within your membership as a benefit.
And to be honest, there's many different levels of membership.
Yes.
Anybody and anything can be, because, think nonprofits. Just because you're not a business for profit doesn't mean you can't be a member of the chamber.
And we have a special nonprofit rate.
Yeah.
Our rates start from $100 for just a single individual community member for a year, and it's $100 a year. It's not $100 a month or $100 a day or a week. It is $100 a year, so very affordable.
And it gives you a few amenities and things that maybe you can't afford as a nonprofit.
Correct.
You know, if you need a meeting space on occasion, hey,
correct.
You can use the chamber, no problem.
The opportunity for us to highlight you in our newsletter on, things like that.
Put out on your email blast. Don't forget, so-and-so's got their big fundraiser on Saturday. Come out and support them. We can do all of that kind of stuff. Becoming that member. So regardless, and this is what we say, if you do any kind of business in Chaves County,
you really need to be a member.
Then we invite you to be a member. And just because your business isn't physically in Roswell or Chaves County, that too, we have a lot of businesses that are in Eddy County or surrounding counties.
Well, if you do business
here
in Roswell, if you are a business that is housed elsewhere, but you do business in Roswell and Chaves County, you need to be a member of the chamber because we can help you in ways that you may not even realize.
Your customers are here in our territory.
That's right.
That's kind of what we look at. And of course, with that comes all the benefits and perks of it. And obviously different levels come with different things, but all of that is your support cast. If you're a small mom and pop business, where I get it, your advertising budget, your whatever, if there is such a thing, is little to none. Whereas the McDonald's guy rolls in and he's like, I'm McDonald's. I got McDonald's behind me. He's got a department just thinking about one thing. You know what I mean? You don't have that luxury. Let the chamber kind of be some of that for you. And becoming a member has that. He's like, I can't afford to spend thousands of dollars on advertising every year or month.
Well, you don't need to.
Use the chamber for some of that.
A couple $100 for the year to be a member. We can help you with all of that. And then, of course, we do have our elite member categories, which are, more costly.
Sure.
But with that, a lot of for example, our platinum members, which are our highest members, they may not need a lot of the things that we offer, a lot of what we call benefits. Well, the benefit for them is that they are helping us as the chamber help those smaller mom and pop businesses.
It's kind of their outreach for their company.
Correct.
Yeah. And we're kind of that conduit for them. And don't get me wrong, they help us out, our LNFs and these other great companies in town. You don't think they don't help us every time we have an event where people are gathering and you're having a beverage, or even if it's a water or soda.
Exactly.
LNFs always, just entities like that are there every
LNF
time.
and Admiral have been great supporters of the chamber because, like you said, anytime we have a beverage, it is coming from one of them.
Yeah, so we appreciate all those groups supporting us, and that's how they give back is supporting us through that way. While at the same time, I hope we help provide them a service of getting connected and getting their word out to our local folks too.
So it just the theme and the word of the day, other than windy, is call the chamber because we want to help you. We really do want to help you. And I love talking to all of our people. We are getting phone calls from around the country more and more every day about people looking to possibly relocate to Roswell and Chaves County, as well as, hey, I'm just going to come visit. What do you got going on?
Gotcha.
And so we love to talk to those people. So once again, if you are a member of the chamber, please send me your flyers, bring us your information, because that is the information we stick in our packets when we mail them off around the country and show people, hey, you're going to be in Roswell for a week. Well, here's 2 weeks worth of stuff to go do, and make them, do the hard work of figuring out, okay, how do I fit all of this awesome stuff?
You plan your itinerary accordingly. Yeah.
And of course, we're going to help as much as we can. I've learned when people come into the office, I go, okay, how long are you here? And then, okay, you're here for a day. Awesome. Then here's the top 10 things that I think you need to make sure you hit. Oh, you're here only for a couple hours. Okay, well, here's what I think you need, the highlights that you have to hit. Because as much as everybody goes to the UFO Museum, and thank you, wonderful aliens, but we are so much more. So, we do have a list that we're like, okay, once you're done with the UFO museum, here are the other museums. Oh, you like museums? Here's the other museums you need to hit. Oh, you've got little kids. Hey, here's 3 or 4 different things that you can do with your family that are family fun entertainment.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're hungry. Oh, yay. Okay, here's
we
our
have no
favorite
place you can go, or 2 or 12
Exactly.
you can go to. Yeah, absolutely. So, yes. So inquire, ask, call.
Yes.
If you're not a member and want to learn more about becoming a member, like we said, nonprofits, anybody, an individual, you don't have to be a business. If
you're breathing, you should be a member of the chamber.
Absolutely. We would love to have you get involved. And of course, if you want to serve, we're always looking for, new redcoats and new folks to get involved in our events, or maybe you want to serve on one of our board committees or something. We'll be happy.
We'll put you to work.
Put you to work. Just reach out to the chamber and we'll reach back.
Yes, absolutely. We'd love to have you.
Good deal. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to cover?
Just I want to leave with Rise with Roswell at the top of everybody's minds.
Couple weeks away.
Coming up very quickly. $25 a ticket, $800 for a table. And we are limited with table sponsors. But with that, you do get 8 tickets to come sit at the table and be a part of it.
Yeah. We'd love to have you. Come on out and come. It's one day. You can get up early one day.
That's right. Absolutely. If I can drag myself and my kiddos over there, then so can you.
That's right. And hey, you'll be rewarded for your earliness.
Yeah.
You'll be delicious coffee
and our redcoats are going to be there
Yeah.
to meet and greet everybody. And I have teenagers that'll be there with me, and they do love it. They've been going since they were little.
We got to tell these redcoats they're going to be in charge of making sure everyone's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
That's right. And we've got some great redcoats that do just that.
Yeah,
It doesn't
they are.
matter what event we go to. They just put a smile on your face.
They
It
do.
doesn't matter what kind of a day you've had.
They're tone setters.
They really are. We've got a great group of redcoats. So
Absolutely.
Rise with Roswell, not January. Oh my gosh. See, I shouldn't look at my notes when I'm talking. March 23rd at the fairgrounds, 6 a.m. Contact the chamber, or you can go onto our website, roswellnm.org.
Yep.
And go under our events page, look for Rise with Roswell. You can do everything right there, register, pay, everything. If you need to, contact us, 575-623-5695.
Yep.
We're always happy to help.
Absolutely. Reach out. We're and especially come to the website. You see a bunch of stuff. Say, hey, how do I get in on this? Come on by or
That's
call,
right.
and we'll be happy to learn you all.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, ma'am. As always, appreciate the visit. We'll see. I'm sure you got a few things at the office that they're waiting for you to do.
Couple
or
of
something.
events to get planned.
so you're going to knock that out real quick.
That's
we'll let
right.
you do that. But appreciate it. We'll see you here in a couple weeks.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, Andrea. It is 8:50. Let us pause for news of the local variety, your Wall Street business update. Quick break as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A New Mexico House bill that would block a nuclear waste storage project proposal in southeast New Mexico has now cleared the state Senate and is headed to the governor's desk. The bill, sponsored by Democrat Senator Jeff Steinborn, would require express consent from state leaders for any nuclear waste storage site. It would also require the federal government have a permanent repository for the waste before a temporary storage site could be built in New Mexico. Carlsbad police are asking for some new clues in hopes of solving a December burglary at a local Pizza Hut. If you go to the Carlsbad Police Facebook page, you can see a surveillance picture of the man who broke into the store at 1201 Canal Street on December 11th before it opened for the day. If you recognize that man, you are asked to call Carlsbad Police at 575-885-2111 or Eddy County Crime Stoppers at 575-887-1888. You can always remain anonymous. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Another strong storm system dropping into the Great Basin and eventually moving into the Four Corners. That'll bring us gusty wind today. We'll have a few early clouds, but sunny this afternoon. Wind kicking up to 40 miles an hour and pretty mild. Our high today in the low 70s. Breezy upper 30s and a few clouds for the overnight hours, and then a mix of sunshine and clouds. Maybe a shower on Thursday, mid 50s and very windy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. A former FTX executive pleaded guilty Tuesday to conspiracy and wire fraud charges as part of a deal to cooperate with federal prosecutors building their case against FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried in what authorities have dubbed one of the biggest frauds in history. The plea by the former cryptocurrency company's engineering director raises to 3 the number of people who prosecutors say have pleaded guilty in connection with the case. Target plans to invest as much as $5 billion this year, expanding services for customers, including a drive-up service for returns, renovations at 175 stores, and improvements in online shopping. Tesla will build a new plant in northern Mexico, the country's president said on Tuesday, marking a push by the electric vehicle maker to broaden operations outside the United States in a deal said by a source to be worth at least $1 billion. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The presiding judge of the Roswell section of the Pecos River Stream Adjudication has issued an order allowing owners of a water right in the Roswell Artesian Basin to file their claim to an earlier priority date if the owner can show that their water right was related to a prior use of surface water. A copy of the order can be obtained from the district court or the office of the state engineer. If you believe that you have a claim, you are urged to contact your attorney for legal advice. If you receive a show of cause packet, you must respond within 60 days of the date of receipt. You may also contact the office of the state engineer for additional information.
Your destination for health is closer than you think. You don't have to drive hours for personalized care. You can get high-quality health care right here, close to home, at Artesia General Hospital. From hip, knee, and shoulder replacements to sports injuries, general surgery, pain management, and wound care, our providers will help you get back to doing the things you love right here in Southeast New Mexico. Artesia General Hospital is here for you when you need us. To learn more about some of our key service lines, visit artesiageneral.com/closer.
Artesia Car Enthusiast, Artesia Chamber of Commerce, and Artesia Main Street bring you the 24th Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise 2023. Last year's record number of cars of all ages and sizes is sure to be beaten as we have expanded areas for vehicle display, added more food vendors, tractor row, and even a bike boulevard all downtown. We kick things off Friday, March 31st at 6 p.m. for the Main Street Cruise from Bulldog Bowl to 2nd Street and back. Join us Saturday, April 1st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. as Artesia transforms into one of the hottest spots for car enthusiasts, residents, and visitors. Please come together to enjoy a weekend filled with music, cruising, friendly competition, and lots of fun for the whole family. Spectators are always free. For more information or to register your car, go to artesiachamber.com or stop by the office at 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The Main Event Car Show and Cruise, Friday, March 31st and Saturday, April 1st in downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
ENMU Roswell offers high school students the opportunity to get a head start on their college education journey into healthcare. Through the Allied Health Careers Pathway, high school learners can enroll in dual credit courses that introduce them to a wide range of careers that include emergency medical technician, paramedic, nursing, occupational therapy, respiratory therapy, medical assisting, phlebotomy, and nursing assistant. Start your healthcare career path at ENMU Roswell. Contact your high school counselor for more information.
It's time to stock up on beef. Do it the most affordable way by buying a whole or half beef from Runyon Cattle. A whole beef feeds a family of 4 for nearly a year. Buy your meat in bulk for about $6 a pound. Skip the store and skip the wait lines. Beef isn't something that you should have to wait on. Stock up on New Mexico homegrown grass-fed and grass-finished beef today by calling Lisa with Runyon Cattle at 760-5655. That's 760-5655. Delivered to your home freezer.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 56 minutes after 8 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour. Kevin Mavers, City Development Director, he'll be in next hour. Here's what I did. I'll tell you what I did. So I think I talked to him. He had to move it back a week because of scheduling conflicts or something. And so I wrote him down at 9:15, but he never comes in at 9:15. So I was like, why is he at 9:15? I'm moving him to 7:15. And then I realized we must have talked about 9:15, so because he didn't show up at 7:15. So I said, well, okay, so it's 9:15 then. But it was one of those where I started outthinking myself, and that's never good when that happens. I lose every time. So I think we'll see Kevin next hour. That being said, I do want to remind folks, though, that we were talking about Leadership Roswell and all of that earlier. The Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, which is the organization that supports the Leadership Roswell program, has their annual Teen Leadership Institute, which is happening later this month, March 26th through the 28th. And it's going to be taking place, as it has been, at the New Mexico Military Institute. They've been doing it for years. It is coming up the end of this month. However, the deadline to register is this week, March 3rd. Applications must be in by March 3rd. You can submit and receive applications by emailing roswellteenleadership@gmail.com. Roswell Teen Leadership, all one word, @gmail.com. And you can request an application there, and when you fill it out, submit it back to that same email. I believe all of the guidance counselors at the high schools and locally all are aware of this and have applications as well. But you got to get them in by the 3rd. By the way, this is for high school juniors and seniors, and they're going to be awarding over $500 in scholarships this year to high school juniors and seniors. And the cool part is the class has the biggest say in who gets those. It's kind of selected amongst their peers, and it's really cool. It's a great way to do it. But it doesn't matter what your child wants to do after school. This will benefit them. It gives them leadership skills. It's not guaranteed a military or anything like. Certainly, very helpful if you want to choose that direction. But it's not like setting you up for that path only. If you want to go to college, there's going to be scholarship money. So it's obviously, but the skills will translate there. Or say they hope to own their own business someday, or they want to be the next mayor, or they want to be a great artist. Doesn't matter. The skills that they learn through this actually will apply and transfer very well to that. If you have any questions about the event, you can always reach out to Desi Aguilar, 575-420-8732, or Lieutenant Colonel Eric Evertson, 575-624-8139. And it's a big thank you to NMMI and for partnering once again with Leadership Roswell Alumni Association to bring this event. But March 26th through 28th at the New Mexico Military Institute campus. Again, email roswellteenleadership@gmail.com to get your applications in and accept it.
The seat's still warm.
Well, it happens.
Baseball starts again this season.
It starts every season.
Baseball starts this week, doesn't it?
Well, spring training, yeah. They've been doing the pitch count. They've incorporated that, and they're having all kinds of issues with that. We got to go because it's time for news, but it is starting. I'd be curious to see how that pitch count thing plays out later. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Attorney General Merrick Garland on the Capitol Hill hot seat this hour. He's appearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee amid a whole series of controversies, including allegations that the Justice Department has been weaponized under his watch, targeting political foes of the administration. Garland is defending the department's track record on a number of counts, including the war on drugs.
Last year, DEA and its partners seized enough fentanyl-laced pills and powder to kill every single American.
And the fentanyl crisis, the subject of another hearing today in the House. And yesterday we heard emotional testimony from a grieving mother who lost 2 sons to the drug that's been flooding across the southern border. A similar testimony expected at today's session. And with Republicans now in charge of the House, the Select Committee on China is getting down to business, beginning its work with a primetime hearing.
We may call this a strategic competition, but it's not a polite tennis match. This is an existential struggle over what life will look like in the 21st century.
Committee Chairman, Republican Congressman Mike Gallagher, opening the hearing with a plea for bipartisanship among the panel's members. President Biden nominating Deputy Labor Secretary Julie Su to lead the agency.
He's led the effort to ensure jobs of high-growth industries like semiconductor manufacturing, broadband, healthcare, and so much more.
If confirmed by the Senate, Su would succeed outgoing Labor Secretary Marty Walsh. From coast to coast, forecasters say more stormy weather is on the way, expected to bring heavy snow to some regions, drenching rains to others later in the week. Watching Wall Street, stocks are mixed at the moment. Right now, the Dow is up 16 points, while the Nasdaq trading 45 points lower, and the S&P is 10 points in the red. More on these stories, townhall.com.
From the creators of I Can Only Imagine comes Jesus Revolution.
If you look a little deeper, if you look with love, you'll see an entire generation searching for all the right things, just in all the wrong places.
Based on a true revolution.
You're going to need a bigger church.
Jesus Revolution. Rated PG-13. Some material may be inappropriate for children under 13. Now playing. Go to JesusRevolution.movie.
Deanna got some really bad news from the IRS.
They said you owe quite a bit of money. They told me the possibilities of garnishing my wages, taking my house, taking my car.
Deanna found out about Optima Tax Relief. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax saved my life.
Call Optima now for a free consultation. Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. Optima Tax Relief. For details, visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Nigeria's president-elect Bola Tinubu is thanking his supporters while appealing to his rivals for unity after being declared the winner of last weekend's presidential election.
The announcement by election officials is likely to lead to a court challenge by the second and third highest finishers. The opposition has demanded a revote after saying delays in the results made room for voting irregularities. After his victory was announced, Tinubu said,
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
New Capitol Hill. They are expected to make a full and complete recovery. 3 Kansas City, Missouri police officers were shot last night. The gunfire rang out while the officers were trying to execute a search warrant at a home. The officers' injuries not considered life-threatening, according to officials there in Kansas City. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tablet said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
No complaint, it's a riddle. I'm on a
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy miracles.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, welcome to it.
Hope you're having an amazing day.
Indeed. Indubitably.
Enjoy the beautiful life that is Wednesday.
Yep.
See? Positive. Positive.
I like it. I like it. It just took you 2.5 hours to get here, but I like it.
Positive.
Hapless optimism in the face of adversity.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah,
I guess that's our guest there. I think
yes.
It was Roy talking to himself. I don't know which. Could go either way.
A little both. A little column A, a little column B. We all do it sometimes.
We all do
now
it.
I gotta ask you something.
Yes.
I don't know if this is like a normal thing that like people do. Have you ever just like in a vacuum of to yourself, like not thinking about other people around you, just said something out loud to hear what it sounds like?
I've done. Yes.
You do that? You ever do that? Okay, so it's not like a weird thing to do.
Well, I'm not saying it's not.
I'm not saying I'm normal.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I do it.
So I shouldn't use you as my litmus test.
Maybe is what I'm saying.
Got it. No, it's just like every now and again, like I'll be like, in my car by myself, nobody around, or even like walking through a Walmart, and I'll like have a thing in my head and be like, I wonder what that sounds like if it was like put into words, and I'll just say it.
Right.
Like peanut butter breadcrumbs. Just like randomly, like just have like a thought, like words that have never been, 2 words that have never been used in the same, phrase before.
Yeah. No, mine's been more like I'm engrossed in thought in something else that's not related to anything around me. And I'll be just, say I'm walking around like the mall or in a store or something, and my thoughts are, I've got to get something done or something. And then I will answer myself out loud. Like sometimes I've been walking around like, well, that's a bad idea. And then people just look at me like, I'm sorry, I was thought different.
It's amazing to me how quickly we will dismiss a mental illness with the presence of a pet. Like we can talk to ourselves and we feel weird.
Yeah.
But if we've got a cat there, we're just talking to the cat.
Yeah.
That's completely normal.
Well, thank God for hands-free phones in cars. Because now I can rant and yell at people, and they think I'm on Bluetooth.
Just like I'm on a conference call. That's all that is.
I'm sitting there just calling them all kinds of names, and they're probably thinking I'm talking to someone on the Bluetooth. It's like, no, I'm calling you every name in the book.
It's like you can get away with saying pretty much anything to being a complete freak show in the streets if you just had one of those little Bluetooth headsets.
Exactly.
You're just faking it half the time. It's literally like calling people out on their nonsense.
Yeah. I wish I was joking about that, but I'm not. Some of my jokes are based on truth.
Not wrong.
It just happens. It's like, I'm joking, but I do it. I've done it.
Now, the other thing is, though, I get far too into what I'm listening to also. Like we were driving to Artesia yesterday. I was driving to Artesia, and I had my Spotify on shuffle. So it's just like coming up with random stuff. And I'm just like shoulders rolling, dancing, listening to what I'm listening to. And I pass a sheriff. And I'm like,
hey, you're getting your groove on ain't illegal.
I know, but for some reason I was like, that's a pulloverable offense.
See, it would have been cool if the sheriff was like, or the sheriff's deputy was listening to the same song and kind of started bopping the same thing.
Do you know why I pulled you over, sir? Was it because I was getting my groove on?
Yeah. It's because you're out of sync.
It's because you were jealous that you ain't got the moves.
I just want to hear what song you're jamming to so I can put it on my radio.
I just needed to Shazam you.
That's right. That would be a funny reason.
Do you know why I pulled you over, sir? Let me just hear what you're listening to.
Yeah, like you're having a good time. I was like, I want me some of that.
I want to get some of that.
I would actually be like happy if someone ever did that. Of course, I don't do that very often. I mean, if I'm listening to music, we all know what it is.
I'm still going to have to cite you.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yes, for excessive whatever that was. All right, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We will get you up to date with the weather. Gonna be windy. Windy.
Hefty. Windy.
Storm's coming, We'll do the weather here in just a few minutes. If you were listening earlier in the show, that was modicumly funny. If you weren't, then that made no sense. And then, of course, Kevin Mavers, City Development Director, he's going to join us in just a bit, give us an update on the last development meeting and development around Roswell.
Can you find out when, if ever, we're going to get a Firehouse Subs?
I've heard lots of...
I heard a joke that's just a billboard now.
Yeah, well, I've heard rumors. I'll ask, but I don't think, at this point, it's kind of out of the city's hands.
Stop
I think it's all...
teasing us. Take the sign down.
I think it's all on the private ownership and, work. I've heard things from COVID to owner change. I've heard all kinds of
I've heard the same thing about Popeyes, honestly.
Well, Popeyes they're going and blowing on that one.
But I heard they changed ownership.
Well, they had to. I'm not sure what I know. I know for a fact on that one that they had to, because Kevin came on the show and talked about it.
Right.
Was they decided the original plans were not big enough, so they had to reissue new plans for a bigger, faster, stronger Popeyes, and so that took that's the delay. There is they basically had to go back to the drawing board, get re-approvals and the new design for the once that got greenlit, then they started building. So I think
I just know we got
that's what I heard.
6 new Allsupsies in the time we've gotten not even one Popeyes.
Well, I think red tape has been part of the problem on some of that stuff. But they're going, and I have no idea. I haven't heard open dates or any hiring or any of that stuff. But I drive by the Popeyes every day on my way to work, and it looks like they keep making progress.
Yeah, they're getting there.
Whoa.
It's pretty. It's orange. It's pretty orange.
All I'm saying, though, as a businessman, that Firehouse Subs has got not one but 2 dispensaries right next to it. You need to get your sandwich shop
open quickly,
because you're losing money hand over fist with 2 weed stores right next to you. Just saying, I'm not a businessman, but I'm like, there's an opportunity there.
Right. Or somebody open up a candy store nearby. Something. Work with us here, people. Sell some Dory nachos.
Right? Just saying. Anyway, Kevin will join us in just a few. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Another strong storm system dropping into the Great Basin and eventually moving into the Four Corners. That'll bring us gusty wind today. We'll have a few early clouds, but sunny this afternoon. Wind kicking up to 40 miles an hour and pretty mild. Our high today in the low 70s. Breezy upper 30s and a few clouds for the overnight hours, and then a mix of sunshine and clouds. Maybe a shower on Thursday, mid 50s and very windy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Anyway, thank you, Steve. Currently 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 22%. Winds currently out of the south at 7 miles per hour. Red flag warning for today. That will be issued at 10 a.m. That will remain in effect through 7 p.m. Tomorrow, we have the fire weather watch and the high wind watch, which will probably change the red flag warning before the end of today. But that's what we're looking at now because of winds. I know I'm not supposed to say it's windy, but it is what it is. Mostly sunny. I have 75 today. All good news there. But the winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 this morning, so not windy yet. But as the day progresses, those winds will increase out of the southwest 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 39 degrees with south winds 15 to 20. For you Thursday, notice the temperature drop. 75 today, but tomorrow we are looking at a slight chance of rain, at 20% for the afternoon, but mostly sunny and high of only 54. So we're going from 75 to 54 in 24 hours. That's going to stink. Winds will be, of course, hanging out tomorrow, too. Out of the south, 15 to 20. Early, increasing 25 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, areas of blowing dust before midnight, partly cloudy, and overnight low of 20. They use the term blustery with a northwest wind 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35. That wind will drop down 15 to 20 after midnight. Friday, back to a little warmer, upper 60s, sunny 67, west winds at around 15 miles per hour for Saturday, sunny and 66. And then Sunday, it's going to feel, dare I say it, not I guess say full on spring, because it's 77. It's not going to be summer. That's just crazy talk. But it's going to be pushing 80 on Sunday, and then we're going to be in the upper 70s for a good hunk of next week. So get through the wind. Maybe we have some more pleasantries to enjoy weather-wise this weekend. All right, it is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 2-minute commercial break, and then Kevin Mavers, City Development Director, will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925, we have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency.
Get ready for the most out-of-this-world weekend Roswell has ever seen. UFO Expo 2023, March 10th through the 12th at the Roswell Convention Center. 3 days packed with 40 different events, including 10 different film screens, producers, celebrity personalities, and renowned speakers, and all just a few blocks from the UFO Museum and Research Center. The 3-day pass includes VIP parties, mixer tents, speakers, live music, film festival, cosplay events, and more. Get tickets and more info at UFOXPO.com. UFO Expo 2023, March 10th through the 12th at the Roswell Convention Center.
Hey, Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Trustmark is one of the only roofing companies that's also a licensed commercial and residential general contractor.
Wow.
I know, who cares, right? Well, you should care. You see, a licensed roofer can install a new roof on your home, but really can't handle structural problems underneath. So if your roof needs reframing or your chimney needs a water diverting cricket, you may need to call a licensed general contractor. And coordinating 2 companies for your roofing job can get costly and messy fast. As a licensed roofer and general contractor, Trustmark can install a stunning new roof on your home and handle structural issues. This saves you time, money, hassle, and even makes it easier to file an insurance claim. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit us at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suit's for the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, I'm going to get it right now, Community Development Director Kevin Mavers joining us in studio this morning. Morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Mike. Hey, we're a couple hours later than we normally are.
Yes, yeah, and in my head, I tried to outthink myself, and that didn't work. So whenever I double think myself, I lose every time.
Well, that's all right. If it wasn't on my calendar and there was a big flashing red light that said, go see Mike, go see Mike, go see Mike.
I wrote down everything 9:15, but in my head saying, I think I wrote it down wrong. It should be 7:15. That's when I see Kevin. So I started second-guessing myself.
Yeah. You know, we have this little weird calendar thing going on. The 4th Tuesday of the month fell on the last day of the month.
Yeah.
So now we're the first Wednesday. Normally I'm on the 4th Wednesday of every month.
So the meeting actually was, because there was no, they ran out of Wednesdays in February because of the 28th. But the Tuesday, the 4th Tuesday fell on the 5th. Or the first Wednesday of March, is what had happened. But anyway, yesterday was the development meeting.
Yesterday should have been the regular Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. That meeting was canceled though because we didn't have any active projects.
So there was nothing really.
Yeah, we were already filling up next month's agenda, but we didn't have. Again, I think we talked about it last month. You get into this first of the year kind of lull where projects they kind of stop coming in around in November, December, and then January is like a processing month, and then you start to get things going in February, March, April, but it looks like the March agenda is going to have 4 or 5 different items on it and everything else. It's actually a bit of a help because from a city perspective, from a departmental perspective, we're into fiscal year 24 planning already and budgeting and everything else, trying to pull everything together so that we can get it over to the finance department so that we can get it over so we can start planning marketing campaigns and public affairs campaigns. We got a lot of those.
Well, and the
fiscal
fiscal year's over halfway over at this point. We're at the time we're talking January is the beginning of the actual year.
It's actually the third quarter of the fiscal year.
Yeah, when it comes to finances, we're looking ahead to the next year.
We are, and we're trying to figure out where we are. And I'm just not bragging on my staff. Yes, I'm going to brag on my staff.
They make you look good. Might as well, right?
They are making me look really, really good. My team, we started going through the budget, and I was looking at the budget and checking the numbers and where we're supposed to be by this time of year, and it's like, wow, we were then within like a percentage point of two of where we were supposed to be, which is really, really good. And I do have to, like I said, I believe I have one of the best staffs in the entire city. Of course, what department head doesn't say that, but it's
as department head should. The good ones will defend their people to the end.
Because I am truly as the and I think we've talked about it before. There are 5 different divisions within my group that report to me: our planning and zoning division, our code enforcement division, building inspections, our business license, and then of our real estate division. So I've got 5 divisions within community development.
All have very different scopes of what they do.
But they're also interconnected.
Sure, absolutely,
and you generally pass through if you're coming in to start a new business, or you want to develop your property, or you want to business license, or maybe you're having a problem with a neighbor or something. You're going to pass through our office. So we want to make sure that we have the absolute best customer service, and that's one of the things that is going to be our big focus. It's actually been a significant focus since I got here a couple of years ago, but it's going to be an even bigger focus coming up, because as we move forward with the Development Services Center, and we want to make sure that nobody has any qualms about walking through our door or picking up the phone and calling us.
Right.
We want that.
Well, and just by default, the things that generally people come to see you for aren't things that people are exactly excited to want to do. You know what I mean? It's like if you're trying to get permits and stuff, you're like, I have to do it because that's what the law says. So that and so they kind of come at it from, all right, I'm not, what do I got to do? And so they kind of have this, all right, let me make you guys happy mindset.
Right.
So they're kind of have that. And then obviously if you get like the code enforcement side, you're going to have people with emotional issue because they're complaining about either they got flagged or they got someone that's not in compliance that they're upset about. And so either way, you're dealing with people that may be a little elevated as far as their mindset is. And so for you guys to have to, you almost have to go overboard the other way to mitigate the flare-ups that could happen on the other side.
And that's exactly what we're doing. That is, it's not only that. It's we're running through a lot of cross-training and scenario planning as well. But the fact is, you're absolutely correct. We do get a lot lot of people that are, let's just say, emotionally charged.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the job.
It's the nature of the beast. Either they're trying to get a business started or develop their property. They don't know exactly. I would bet half the people that walk through the door, the first thing out of their mouth is, I'm not sure if I'm in the right place.
Sure.
Can you help?
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is one of those things where a little bit of knowledge can be more dangerous than having no knowledge. And if that makes sense. Or you have a lot of people telling you a lot of things and they think they know what it is, and then at the end of the day, you guys, this is what you do for a living. And so they try to tell you that you're wrong, and it's like, no, I'm looking at the statue here.
It's always good. It's always good when somebody takes the time to do their due diligence, do their homework. Unfortunately, the amount of misinformation or disinformation or just plain out bad information that's out there, it's you always need to double check. And this is where I think it was last month we were talking about, with the changes in the weather as we go to spring, there's always a chance of that hailstorm.
Absolutely,
that hailstorm. And
you set your watch by our wind sometimes.
Any kind of I mean, we've been having the high winds. We've had downed trees all over town. We've had damaged carports. We've had everything.
Been a rough couple weeks for us.
And again, when I just went through the process of shopping my homeowner's insurance. It was time to renew.
Gotcha.
And I wanted to go ahead and reshop it. I met with a very good, very respected agent here in town and was talking about my own personal homeowner's insurance. So I went ahead and verified, and he was absolutely correct that if you, let's say there is an event at your home, high wind, tree branch falls off, crashes through your roof, and you've got to get roof repairs, you've got to get room repairs and everything else. He was very, very specific that if you do not take the time to find a licensed contractor, if you do not pull permits, if you do not have the repairs done and inspected by the city, the insurance company will not cover that repair.
Yeah, and it makes complete sense because at the end of the day, that if you didn't go through that process, the work's not guaranteed.
Exactly.
And in the mind of an insurance person, and I may be a little off here, but when they look at roof repair, they look at that as more preventative because of what you're protecting underneath said roof is much more expensive than the roof. So if other leaks happen and then you find out that you didn't go through the permits on your roof and then you find out something else got damaged, odds are, too, that won't get covered either because it's caused by the roof that wasn't done properly the first time. And so it's a big deal to not do it the right way.
Beyond that, even if you have the roof repaired and, let's say, permits weren't pulled, inspections were done, and it's done properly, okay? If you're lucky enough to get it done properly, you'll still have difficulty selling your home. You'll have difficulty getting it appraised at full value because that's the first thing an appraiser does. Is they're going to look at it, that they're going to go and they're going to pull permits, make sure that the work that's been done has been done up to code and satisfied. So it's I get the overarching warning, and you're going to hear a lot of this coming out of our office is we are here to help even when you're going to select your contractor for your next job. Whether it's a room addition, whether you're adding a carport, whether you're repairing your roof, please come and check with us. Before you sign, before you pay any money, before you do anything.
Absolutely.
Please give us a call. It takes a few keystrokes on the computer to find out whether or not somebody's licensed here in the city of Roswell, has their own business license, whether they're bonded, whether their license is active here in the state of New Mexico, and whether or not any complaints have been filed against them.
They've got a track record of good, honest work.
Of good, honest work. And the fact is, we do have some very good, very honest, excellent, very reputable, licensed contractors.
And a lot of them
work.
get a bad rap because of the shadiness that does happen in that industry.
Because there are a group of people out there, and we affectionately refer to them as storm chasers.
The fly-by-night people.
The fly-by-night people who will suddenly see, oh wow, they need 1,000 roofs in Roswell, and there's only 5 or 6 or a dozen reputable contractors that can do that. Obviously, there's market share to be attached, and they will flood the area going door to door.
And here's the other thing. They may be good roofers, but they don't know what New Mexico requires, what the city of Roswell requires, if they're a fly-by-night. And to be honest, construction of a roof in this part of the country is not the same as a construction of a roof in, say, the East Coast or California. You've got to know. And so, just from a, hey, do your homework perspective, you're going to want someone that does your kinds of roofs consistently, regularly, rather than someone that is new to that. And I'm not saying they're not going to do a good job. All I'm saying is we can't guarantee their work. These folks, we have a history, a track record, and we know what we're dealing with here.
Right. The state of New Mexico actually makes it quite easy to get your license in New Mexico if you're licensed in another state.
Which is probably not a good thing either, I'm thinking. I mean, you wanted people to get it, but you don't want to make it so easy that unqualified people
Well,
get
exactly.
it.
And they have a process, and it's called reciprocity.
I gotcha.
If you're licensed in another state and the requirements are similar, and there is a process, I do believe you take some kind of a simplified exam. But the idea is that you've gone through the process. The big thing that most of our business people coming in from out of state don't understand or they're not familiar with is the concept of the gross receipts tax.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because in a lot of states, services are not necessarily taxed. You have the normal, what they would call sales tax, on goods, sometimes on services, but typically not on services. And
it's on products.
But with the gross receipts tax, that covers both goods and services. So there is a tax that's collected on the work that's done on your home. And you, of course, you have to go to the state tax ID, and that's why you have to come to the city of Roswell, register your business. We want that number.
Sure.
We want to make sure that that you are following the state tax laws as well as the licensing requirements and everything else. That way there's never a question about whether or not you are going to be getting there's always a question. There's always a chance of a dispute. We can't, but at least you're starting off on the right foot with your contractor.
Sure. I'm kind of curious with the gross receipts that go to the, that you pay because of the employees doing, or the company doing the service. Is the onus at that point? So when they charge you, do they factor that fee into the bill, or is the onus on you to go with the city and say, I got to pay gross receipts on this guy, or is that factored into the bill and then the onus is on the company to pay you guys?
It's always on the company.
Gotcha.
It's always on the company.
I just want to clarify that in case, again, some contractor tries to tell you something
and
like that.
That's something if you ever have a contract with with anyone, you want to make sure that you ask about that. Ask about gross receipts tax. If you ever go to the watch any of the contracts, I mean, the city, we contract with everyone for everything from paper and supplies all the way up to major road work and everything else. And you'll hear at the city council meetings or the finance committee meetings when we're approving and reviewing the contract that the contract includes GRT.
Gotcha.
It includes. We make sure it's specific in there.
So it's itemized in your bill, so to speak.
It is itemized because the GRT, of course, is made up of multiple parts. The majority of GRT goes to the state for their operations and everything else, but a small portion of it comes back to the city, and that makes up a big portion of our operating capital that we have.
You just hope the Santa Fe gives you the actual correct number they say that you get. That's another story for another day.
It is a whole nother story and a different interview with a different department head.
But, that's just saying. So when you say, well, what happened? Well, Santa Fe's in the middle here.
I understand there was an issue there a few years ago before I was here. So,
well, there's a middleman who wanted their cut first.
And I hear they were a little slow in passing things through. And, may or may not have been passing everything they were supposed to pass through.
If you owe them money, they flow like water to get, but if they owe you money, it flows like mud. Just saying.
Anyway,
just the way of life.
But it is everything begins here at the local level.
Absolutely,
and making sure that your contractor, or for that matter, any business person that you do business with.
And to be honest, if you're a family or business or anybody really, and you're saying, hey, I want to make an addition to my home. I want to put up the new fence. I want to, redo the basement. Whatever it is, rather than go to Home Depot first, go to the city planning office here first, and then just say, hey, this is what I'm doing. What do I need to do? And they will give you the full checklist of the permits, the everything you go, so that way you can get that taken care of. Then go to Home Depot and do your buying of whatever you're going to need to do your project. But in the meantime,
or any one of our other wonderful
Westlake or wherever you go to go wherever you go to get salmons, any of our great places here in town. But
I realize Home Depot is the 800-pound gorilla in the home improvement sector, but we have some other wonderful home improvement stores.
We absolutely do. But it's wherever you do that. But the development office should be the first place you go. Talk to his staff and let them give you exactly that way. You don't get surprised when you find out something didn't get done right, or you're gonna have to redo something because it wasn't permitted properly, and you avoid all that. And trust me, the process goes from what could be a real headache to something that's pretty smooth and pretty easy.
I'm gonna give you just a quick example, and these are the kind of things we just absolutely positively hate to get called out on, because there's been a contractor, an individual, basically going door to door in the south end of town, and let me say a gentleman representing himself as a contractor.
Gotcha.
Has been going door to door in the south end of town and has been offering to build carports for people. And he buys all of his materials from one of the local building supply stores, generally doing one of the kits that comes out. Installs them pursuant to the kits requirements. Unfortunately, they're not being installed pursuant to state of New Mexico requirements because of our winds here. A carport acts like a sail.
Yes.
All right. It's open on both sides, but that wind swirls around and gets up underneath that and just lifts everything up.
If it's not anchored properly.
If it's not anchored properly. So the state of New Mexico, in many cases, requires proper footings to be under there, well, this guy is just taking it and ram setting the thing into the 4-inch thick
so it's a glorified
concrete
tent,
slab.
basically.
Essentially, yes. Well, we, our code enforcement and zoning enforcement officers became aware of this, and we go down and we had a situation where a woman, an elderly woman on fixed income, Social Security, she wanted a carport because she had enough money. She was going to buy herself a new car, and she obviously didn't want it sitting out in the elements.
Yeah.
Yes, especially this time of year with the chance for hail and everything else. It's nothing worse than having a brand new car and then a week later
I get mad when a bird poops on it. You know, I'm really mad when the wind knocks a tree on it.
A tree, or heaven forbid, it's pockmarked with hail.
Yeah.
You know, that's always bad. But the structure itself, not only was it not installed correctly, it was also installed too close to the side property line and too close to the front property line.
Oh, no.
And so we go out there and we're looking at this very sweet, very nice little old lady who was just taken advantage of.
Sure. Guy came in and offered her a deal she couldn't refuse.
Took all of her money. And now, granted, he did install the carport, but it's not in the right location.
Well, it's probably going to cost her 10 times more money to get whatever he did fixed.
Yeah. and it's I won't say it's going to cost 10 times, but it's, you're still looking at the potential.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out a way within our zoning and development code to help her out right now. We do not want to force anyone to rebuild, but the fact is, because it's not anchored properly, it's a public safety thing.
Absolutely.
So,
that thing catches a wind, and it ends up in hurting somebody or damaging something, and then she's on the hook for that,
and
because
so
this stuff's not up to code.
We're working at least on the setbacks to figure out if there's a variance or an exception we can make on the setbacks, and based on, again, public safety. The reason for most setbacks from the front property line, in particular for garages, is because when someone's backing out, you can't see one way or another to see for any oncoming. So it's a public safety issue. With an open carport, though, we don't think that doesn't necessarily exist.
Right.
So we're working with we're talking to our city engineer about, okay, from a traffic safety perspective, if the sides are open, you can see left, you can see right. Do we have to have that distance back just for public safety?
We can grandfather that in.
We can. Well, let's just say, to use the proper planning term, that would be an existing non-conforming use.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Fancy terms.
It is a fancy term, but that doesn't change the fact that they may have to, in order to comply with the building codes, they may have to unbolt it where it is, saw cut it, put in some proper footings.
Well, good news is it's not well anchored, so it shouldn't be too difficult to move.
It's probably not going to take much to pull it back out. But anyway,
but the point is here is before you talk about you do any kind of work on a project like this,
right?
Your step one is go down to the city hall here, and let's get the proper permit. Let's find out the proper procedures for getting whatever addition or remodel that you've got planned.
Exactly.
And they'll be happy to help you. And that's the thing. They want you to come in that point and explain it. They don't want to see you later when it's all screwed up and they got to fix it. You know.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not even all screwed up. Sometimes the installation may be perfect. Sometimes everything you've done might be perfect, but you didn't pull a permit.
Yeah.
And so we didn't do any inspections. Now we have to ask you to open up your walls.
Yeah, because we don't know.
Because we don't know because the
right.
electrical is right.
Sure.
And so we go in there and we make a mess, and now you got to repair a mess on your brand new room addition. You know?
Well, and people, and I get it, because some people are like, well, it's my house, I can do what I want. It's like, yeah, but at some point, maybe not be for 100 years, it's not going to be your house anymore.
Yeah. Someone
else could be in that house, and if you did shoddy electrical work and that thing catches on fire and all that, and we did, you know what I mean? It's basically, we're trying to keep your house from becoming a lemon like a car would be, you know, because if you do real estate right, you're going to make money every time. You know what I mean? You're going to be fine. It's one of those that you're investing back in yourself. But when you do stuff like this, cut corners on electrical work or drywall or things like that, your resale values, all the things that you're hoping to as an investment for your property, all go away, and you just negated it because you failed to get permits, and what turned into an investment to you is now turning into a liability for you.
And it's people don't think about the so many people are focused on cost rather than on value. And oh my gosh, this guy wants wants $1,500 for the job. This guy wants $2,500 for the job. The $2,500 guy, of course, he's included the cost of the permits, the cost of the inspection time, the cost of making sure he's buying the right materials.
He actually does this professionally and knows exactly what it's going to cost to do it.
And that's what somebody told me. In fact, I think it was my wife recently. She came across somebody who said, "Oh my gosh, you're charging $100 an hour for a 1 hour job. Why is it so expensive?" He goes, "You're not paying me $100 an hour. What you're paying me for is the 30 minutes that it's going to take over the course of my lifespan learning how to do this job in 30 minutes and all the permits and everything else. There's so much more that goes into a professional contract. And I, again, using myself as an example of value versus when I first moved here to Roswell, I bought an older home. It was built in 1963 with 1963 wiring and 1963 plumbing and everything else. Well, that's one half of the house. The other half of the house, there was a major remodel done in 2004. Okay. Well, that was the master bedroom and the master suite. And then I've got a garage that was also built in the back. All of those, no problem with. But when I moved into the house, I wanted to use 2 of the back bedrooms for home offices. Okay. With all of our electronics and everything else. That
was not up to current.
That's definitely. So the first thing I had to do, even though there was nothing wrong with the wiring.
Sure.
Okay.
It can't handle the capacity of modern
the loads.
technology.
It can't handle and the quality of the electricity coming through. Had I gone ahead and plugged in all of my very expensive electronic equipment, my computers and cameras and everything else, because I do a lot of work via video and audio and things like that. So does my wife, for that matter. But the odds of a power surge that could have gone through the house, or a brownout or anything else that could have damaged thousands of dollars worth of very expensive electronic equipment, I wasn't willing to take that risk.
You weren't taking that gamble.
I wasn't. So even though I didn't need to, I went ahead and contacted one of our. I went next door to the building division and I said, "Gentlemen, do we have a list of licensed contractors? And can you give me a recommendation?" They handed me the list. I went through the list, hired a licensed contractor. But even when he came out, I said, "You will include in your bid.
Sure.
You will go pull the permits. Well, you will make sure it's inspected and everything else."
That would be the dumbest contractor on the planet. They tried to pull a fast one on over the community development director. You're not the smartest guy on the tree.
It was
literally, this guy just knows the code, and you're going to try to rope-a-dope on him.
I went about doing this probably in the first 60 days I was here, so I still wasn't
they didn't know yet.
I wasn't very well known. But again, it was one of those things where I wanted to make sure that I was following the rules.
Sure, absolutely.
I never want anyone to suspect that I am somehow cutting myself a deal. No,
absolutely.
I will follow the rules. I will do things right. It's up to me and my team to set the example.
But at the end of the day, you're also doing it to benefit yourself, because you know what? Yeah. If you cut corners on yourself, at some point, that house is going to change hands to somebody else.
Exactly.
And you're going to pay for it then. And we talked about the value. It's like, yes, this guy's charging $100 or $1,000 less.
Right.
But, okay, look at it in these terms. They're redoing your kitchen. How much value is that kitchen going to be added to your home? This guy that's doing it and promising to do it $2,500 less, probably not going to give you the value that the guy that knows it has got the time and everything else. So when you turn around and sell the house, they'll be like, "Oh, look at the remodel here. It was well done. I'm willing to pay the extra $10,000 or whatever it is."
And there isn't even a shorter term. I did not realize it when I was doing the work, but that additional work that we did 18 months after we bought the house. Most new homes, you're required to get the private mortgage insurance, the PMI.
Yes.
That's a couple $100 a month for most homes that you're paying there. Because I did this remodel, and we did some other remodel work and everything else, the value of our home accelerated to the point where we were beyond that 80-20 ratio.
Oh, so you had to up your insurance a little bit, or coverage?
We did. We actually went the exact opposite direction.
Okay.
Because we were beyond that 80-20 ratio, I had an appraiser come back out. They did a secondary appraisal. They, of course, went and pulled all the permits and made sure that everything was done correctly, did a physical inspection of the house, realized that, you know what, your house is now worth 20% more than what you owe, and therefore we can get rid of the PMI.
Nice.
So even though it cost me $2,500 to have all the rewiring done over the next 10 months in less than a year, my ROI on that was less than a year just because they removed the PMI.
You created a bunch more equity there
exactly.
That's a great, and see, that's truly when you talk to your lenders and your real estate agents and they say buying a home is investing in yourself, that's what they mean by that.
Exactly.
That's exactly what they mean by that. So when you try to save a buck on the front end, trying to put the less shoddy work or less shoddy construction in, you're going to pay for that later. You might as well do it right now, enjoy it the right way, deal with the headache, and then whenever that day comes where it's time to move on, you're getting your bang for your buck.
And I don't know about you, Mike, but I have never figured out the stock market.
Right.
So when it comes to investments,
I'm not smart enough to play that game.
No. The one investment that I can say that I have that is doing and performing well, at least it's not going backwards like as many stocks have been doing lately. The one thing is doing it really, really well is my home in Roswell.
There you go.
The values are going up, the equity is going up, everything. So when you look at things from a long-term perspective, they're not making any more real estate. So please, real estate is still your best investment. So take care of your home.
Absolutely. Use the mindset. When it's time to, bite the bullet and make the payments and the things for this, pay for the quality, because the quality is what's going to, because you're shortchanging yourself at the end of the day.
All right.
That's what you're doing. You're screwing yourself out of it. You may think, I got one over on them. I got that. I got that electrical done, half the cost. It might catch fire, but so what? That will catch up with you. I guarantee it.
It will.
It just will. It may be 20 years from now, but it will catch up with you.
But anyway, we can shift gears to something
real quick. I get on my little tangents here.
Oh, there you go. So do I. But all of this is leading up to what we're doing in a positive way to help people reinvest in themselves with the Community Development Department, with our Planning and Zoning, with our Building Inspections Division. Again, we're focusing on customer service. We want somebody, if you're ready and willing to invest in yourself, in other words, you want to build a new fence, you want to build a new carport or a new garage, you want to do a room addition, you want to do something like that, please come and see us. We will walk you through the process. We want people to reinvest in themselves.
Yeah.
Beyond that, what we're also doing, and this year is going to be a big year for going through all of our codes, the planning and zoning codes, the building codes, everything from, and dealing with issues like setbacks and things like that.
Okay.
Anything that's that we can find that we should be allowing some flexibility, especially in our older portions of town where maybe things, zoning and development codes change, but they always change based on new construction, right? We need to build in some flexibility for our older portions of town, because the last thing I want is, getting back to my story about the little old lady that wanted a carport. The last thing I want to do is if she's buying a new car from one of our local dealers here and she's investing in herself and in our community by buying that new car, and she wants to bring it home and she wants a carport, I got to have a way. I want to find a way to help her get that done.
Yeah.
She should be able to do that. And some of let's just say some of our codes are a little bit on the arbitrary side.
I got you.
And so we can figure out, hopefully we can figure out a way to make things happen. And
they've outlived their usefulness, I'm thinking.
And I've given my entire staff instructions that we are not here to say no. Our goal, if at all possible, and of course, if there's issues of public health, safety, or welfare, we may have to say no.
Sure.
We can't do that.
Yeah, those are priority.
But those things on the outside, if people want to reinvest in themselves, reinvest in their neighborhood, reinvest in their home, we're going to find a way. We're going to find a way to help you. So again, one more reason, just come down and see us.
And it's a nice change of thought, because most people think government regulation, you know what I mean? And so it's like, do you really want, it almost gives you that mindset, like, do you even really want me to do this? And so for you to say, and to remind people, it's like, no, we want, because you're right. At the end of the day, you doing well for yourself means the community's doing well.
Right.
That's the more people investing in their own stake in our community make the overall community a better place.
It
That's
does.
just what happens.
It does. And, we always hope there's a little bit of a keeping up with the Joneses kind of attitude that takes place. Sure. Somebody has a little bit of extra money and they reinvest. Maybe they just upgrade the landscaping in their yard, or they build a new front block wall or a new porch or something like that.
Absolutely.
And the neighbors look and go, wow. I'd like one of those.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, everybody on the left and right, people are starting to just upgrade. And that's how you change the flavor, the tenor, the value of a neighborhood. That's how you change the economy of an entire region, is getting people to look around and say, you know what? I'm going to spend money on me.
Exactly. They're investing in themselves. And by doing that, they're investing in our community.
And in their long-term prosperity as well.
Absolutely. So please, I get it. You hate being told what to do. I do too. But they're actually giving you sage advice here, so at the end of the day, you thrive and not struggle, and that's why these things are in place. And I get it. I'm for less government too. I hate government telling me where to put everything and tell me how to do it. But when it comes to things like this is smart, because we don't know. Most of us, I don't know the first thing about electrical work or any of that stuff, and quite frankly, I don't want to be gullible enough to where some guy who looks like he's wearing looks like he works on things. I can't just take that as face value because you know what I mean? And I don't want to rely on that. So, let the city be your watchdog for that stuff. If you're not the expert on picking people or know the first thing about, you're like a nail, you mean there's more than one kind? I don't know, a nail, I get that. If you're not, let the city, say, hey, I heard about who are these reputable contractors? I don't know the first thing about this. I don't want to get screwed. Who are some of these people that have a track record of being honest and fair on this kind of stuff? Yeah. Use that city resource. Use it. That's what it's there for.
Yes.
So, Kevin, is there anything else we didn't get a chance to talk about? Again, for not having a meeting, we found a lot to talk about.
The wonderful thing about Roswell and the wonderful thing about my department is there's always something to talk about.
Sure.
I mean, there's always something happening. There's always something we're working on.
Sure.
And the thing I want to impress upon everyone, and this is actually coming down, we've got a couple of city council people that are very adamant about limited government. Okay. Now there's certain things we can't do. Our building codes, they come down from Santa Fe. We have to follow those. Public health, safety, welfare codes, they come down from Santa Fe or from the federal government. We have to follow those. But once we're down here at the Roswell level, okay, we're going to be building in every bit of flexibility that we can into our own codes that will allow people to achieve their dreams, whether that's a room addition or a new business or a building on Main Street.
Sure.
We're going to figure out, or a new business on Main Street.
Well, and again, when I'm talking about, I'm for less government and everything too, but I also think this is the role of this government. When it gets to city level, to the local community level, this is the people supposed to be making decisions like this, not the federal government. As we're getting philosophical here.
Yeah, sure.
But when it comes to quality of life and your day-to-day impact on life, it's what's happening at this level that's being done is going to impact that. So therefore, you kind of want more investment in that, because that's going to be your first line of defense and being protected from the things that nefarious people do.
And that's also how we keep costs down. You only have to look to the big coastal states to see what happens when the heavy hand of government gets involved in, especially in housing issues. Prices go literally through the roof.
Look at the hot mess we got here, and we're not even that bad compared to other places.
No, actually, this is because I have worked in those coastal states.
You got firsthand experience.
I have firsthand knowledge of what not to do.
Yeah. Which you're taking to bring here to enhance that we don't do it here. So
yes,
we do appreciate
doing the best we can.
But we do appreciate. Tell everyone, the staff and everything, even though there's probably days where they just get people yelling at them because of that stuff. We do appreciate them. And folks, go out there and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to his office. They'll be happy to help you in anything. And by the way, I know code enforcement side, and everyone likes getting their letters and stuff, but I'm just saying, tap down your weeds, do the math. It's humid. We ain't getting a lot of wind, not a lot of rain. Your weeds are a fire problem. It's not about. It's at this point. It's not a look thing. We live in a place that is very dangerous to have these weeds and stuff.
Right.
So please don't get to the point where code enforcement has to break down your door to tell you to cut down your weeds. Go take care of it, and don't forget, If you have weeds in the alley behind your house, that's you responsible for that. You up to the middle, or I don't remember the whole thing, but if you can't see your gas meter or the dumpster in the alley, that's on you to get rid of that cleaned up.
Yeah. The alley immediately adjacent to your fence and everything is your responsibility. I mean, if nothing else, help our guys out in solid waste. The trash guys.
Yes.
All right. It'd be nice to be able to see your way down the alley without having to look around.
We don't want to have to put a train guard on the trash truck so they can drive down the alleys.
Okay. Believe it or not, our solid waste guys really do want to get in there and pick up your trash.
They do. But if you make it hard, it's a little harder.
It gets a little rough. Yeah.
It does. But please understand if you do get the letter in the mail saying cut down your weeds, it's really for the better, everybody. I know it sucks. And if you don't want it, pay a guy. We got lots of great companies that will be happy to come and clean that up for you.
Sure.
Sure. And if you're looking at a list of those reputable ones, I'm sure Kevin can help you out there too.
We have some wonderful landscape maintenance companies that'll trim them down, apply the appropriate weed abatement measures, and
get you back in code.
Make everybody happy again.
Absolutely,
and improve the curb appeal of your home.
Absolutely, not to mention the safety side.
Side as well.
Yeah, one errant firework, and then the whole neighborhood burns down.
Well, and that's the problem. With I come from an area very similar to this where range fires and it's all those weeds and other native grasses that have been allowed to dry out, and they get 2-3 feet tall, and you get a wind 60-75 miles an hour. It's on top of you before you can even realize it's coming.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely.
So be smart. But anyway, Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it. We'll see you here, I guess, end of this month. I was going to say next month, but I think it's technically this month.
Let's see. So 4 weeks from now, so the 29th, I would imagine I will be back on.
We'll see you here in a couple weeks.
And we'll have another full report for you on the activities.
Yes, and hopefully some new businesses, new things to talk about.
It's I am working on putting together a full report, a quarterly report right now. So we're going to have all kinds of things to talk about.
Good deal. Well, thank you, sir. We'll see you in a few weeks.
All right.
It is 9:58. Let's do a quick news and quick break before we go. Don't go away. Actually, let me do Wall Street. Quick break.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. General Motors cutting jobs among some of its salaried employees and executives. The automaker does not specify how many jobs will go. GM has 81,000 salaried employees worldwide. The Energy Department will provide $375 million in loans to a battery recycling company.
The loans will enable iCycle to build its first and one of the first lithium-ion battery recycling plants in North America. Experts have long talked about recycling the lithium in batteries because mining can be environmentally destructive and supplies in the Earth's crust ultimately may be limited. There have been 3 such announcements of lithium recycling plants in recent weeks.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. Wall Street stocks have been drifting today as investors face the possibility that interest rates will stay higher for longer than initially expected. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Using locally owned and operated Zenith Security Services gets you service after the sale, quick turnaround time, security systems tailored to your needs, an actual person when you call, and you're investing in your community. Zenith Security has provided security solutions for southeastern New Mexico since 1998, and we care about our community. When you have security needs, remember, give the locals a shot and call Zenith Security Services at 575-626-3521.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact.
Attorney General Merrick Garland is appearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee on Capitol Hill. Committee ranking member Senator Lindsey Graham asked Garland about designating Mexican drug cartels as terrorist organizations.
Would you oppose some of us trying to make them foreign terrorist organizations?
I wouldn't oppose it, but again, I want to point out there are diplomatic concerns. We need the assistance of Mexico in this.
Garland's testimony comes amid a series of controversies. including allegations the Justice Department has been weaponized under his tenure, targeting political foes of the administration. Also at townhall.com, Chicago voters have ousted incumbent Mayor Lori Lightfoot for a second term. Candidates Paul Vallis and Brandon Johnson